going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And of course, for you fans of the Sports Web, your Tampa Bay sports fans and Go Bucs fans, it's your time. How do we start off this great time, as it usually is my favorite night of the week?
Hump Day!
Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. Somebody didn't give the Bucs the memo on nonsense, because as we sit here today, I know that free agency legal tampering period started on Monday, yet there is still not an edge rusher on this team. Somebody has to explain this to me at this point. You know, I come on here and I defend this team all the time. You know how I feel about them. You know how far back I go with them, from being a fan to covering them now for the JP Peterson show. But I don't know what they're doing. Like, there's plenty of platforms asking the same thing. What are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing right now? You would think, right, that they were they finished 12-5. That they are the San Francisco 49ers, that they won their division, and yet they were 8-9 and didn't win the NFC South. I come on this show, and I've talked about it over and over and over again, how you got to be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. I feel like a cheerleader sometimes. But you know what? You got to tell it like it is. Like, I'm a positive guy. I try to be eternally optimistic with this team. And yet, here we sit. Trey Hendrickson on the board for the last 2 days. The Bucs do nothing. Why? They were in the running. Close the deal. Make the deal. I get it. He's 31 years old. You just got a linebacker that was 31 years old. Try to sign him to a short-term deal. Make the deal. Get it done. If he wants to play for the Bucs, get it done. Best pass rusher not named Max Crosby out there. And oh, by the way, he's out there now. Is that deal going to get done? How many proven pass rushers? It's not just about big names. It's about getting a proven pass rusher. Why? Because this team absolutely sucked when it came to going after quarterbacks, getting after quarterbacks. And it's been the same thing the last couple years. Don't tell me that you're going to go after Joey Bosa, because most likely that's probably what's going to happen unless you make a trade for Max Crosby. You know, the talk is coming in, losing Mike Evans, and Mike Evans thinks the San Francisco 49ers are a better team, and that's why you went. And I try to sit up here and say, well, you know, the Bucs can be a Super Bowl contender. And I still kind of believe that. But if you don't address the most important position on your team, which is edge rusher, then what are we talking about? And I know there's still time because, you know, sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. But the problem with, free agency, all the edge rushers are off the board now. Trey Hendrickson signs with the Ravens. Great job.
That's great enough to suck right there.
Bradley Chubb gone. Good job. Oh, the Bills overpaid. Who cares? They're trying to compete. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. San Francisco 49ers, what's the difference? Oh, they don't have Nick Bosa. They had Nick Bosa. He's an edge rusher. Right? Like, what's this team doing? So I'm a little bit frustrated tonight, to say the least. Just a little bit. Like, I don't know. You tell me. Is the big plan to go after Joey Bosa? Is the big plan to trade for Max Crosby? You can get Crosby now. You don't have to trade your precious 2 first-round picks, Jason Light. because the word is out, because the Baltimore Ravens torpedoed the deal. By the way, this is amazing. Like when somebody restructure or when they get their knee, they have a structural damage to their knee. They're not going to pass their physical more times than not because it's a 4 to 6 month injury to recover. But I would take a Max Crosby with one knee with what the Bucs had last year in that pass rushing room. Hassan Reddick was. Chris Braswell has been. You can't bargain basement shop. Look, this team may not be Super Bowl ready, but you're not helping out your cause here because the big emphasis in the offseason with Bucs Nation and Go Bucs fans is fire Todd Bowles. Fine, fire Todd Bowles, but at least give the man a chance. Give him a damn chance. Give him some horses that can run this defense. When he even had the edge rush, we talk about it all the time. You got to have the edge rush. JPP, Shaq Barrett. When you had that, guess what? Todd Bowles' defense wins the Super Bowl. They shut down the Kansas City Chiefs. Whether Bucs fans like it or not, that's the fact of the matter. He didn't do it as a head coach. He did it as a defensive coordinator. They didn't make a signing tonight. Still not an edge rusher. So it's disappointing, to say the least. And that's the question for the night. As I'm pretty much pissed off on a Wednesday because I had a bad day at work, and because I had the bad day at work and didn't perform like I usually do, I had to kill time. So how does Peter kill time to let the day pass that would never end? Go on ESPN, go on the various Bucs platforms and see if the Bucs signed any edge rushers, and guess what? They didn't do anything. It's gonna be tough. I mean, in the whole analysis here, what is it? An analysis by paralysis, right? So you're gonna go with rookies because that's worked out so well. JTS bust, Chris Braswell bust. Logan Hall just moved on to the Houston Texans. He was a second-round pick. Basically, he was a bust. Serviceable, but as a second-round pick, he should be a lot better. You're going to go in the draft. I did some research, because people think, and I'm going to hold off on phone calls right now. I know I got the phone number up. You're going to have to wait. Because I'm probably as angry as you are. Because it's nice to get a backup quarterback. It's nice to bring back Sean Tucker. It's nice to re-sign the worst punter in the National Football League. It's nice to get a defensive tackle from the Carolina Panthers, which we'll get into. But the most glaring need, oh, by the way, they filled the linebacking spot with a 31-year-old linebacker. I get that. The most glaring need for this team right now is edge rusher. Still edge rusher. It's been edge rusher. Like, you got to address it. And don't tell me to be patient. Be friggin' aggressive. Do something different. And just because you struck out on Hassan Reddick, who is $14 million, you get what you pay for. You got to spend money, $20 to $25 million. You know how I feel about the salary cap. I feel like it's the national debt. We're always talking about, oh my God, the national debt. And still, people are going to the movies. People are going to the strip clubs. People are going here and there. It's not affecting the economy to a certain degree. Cost of living is a little bit high. Gas is a little bit high. But guess what? Don't have to worry about that because I drive a Tesla, so I changed to electric. So don't care. But feel bad for the people that still have to fill up their gas tanks $50 to $60, right? But still, we talk about the national debt every year. We talk about the salary cap every year. If you want to have money, if you want to spend money, if you want to put the money in your team and make them not only competitive, but a Super Bowl contender, you will find a way to do it. And the Bucs have not done that yet. And I don't understand why. Are they tanking? If you're tanking, why not fire everybody, as some Bucs Nation want? They want to fill the rebuild. They need to have the rebuild. They want to have a rookie quarterback. They want to go back to the doldrums of 10 years where the Bucs barely even made the playoffs, let alone win a playoff game. So if you're tanking, it makes no sense what you've done in the offseason at all. Makes no sense. You know, I used a term today, it brought me back because I was so angry and electric. And I start to turn into I look like a Klingon because the wrinkles on my head start to go. This team right now is acting like they're a snail on Valium. Yeah, old Marine Corps term. Snail on Valium. No urgency at all. You would think this is the best team in the National Football League when it comes to rushing the passer, and they're not. And David Walker may be great, and Kalijah Kancey may be great if he can stay healthy. And whatever they got on this team may be good. But you have an opportunity to go out and get a proven pass rusher, and you failed. You have an opportunity to do that. Go out and get Max Crosby. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. People say, how do you lose Mike? You lose Mike because he doesn't believe. You lose Mike because maybe the coaching. I don't know. He wants a new opportunity. Who the hell knows what's in that man's head? He took $14 million and went to a dump state like California. I mean, that's what it comes down to. By the way, once again, doing research, because that's what you do here on the Sports Web before the show. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. In the last 10 years, how many edge rushers as a rookie went for double-digit sacks? You ready? You ready, guys? Because there'll be a quiz afterwards. Here's the numbers. Micah Parsons, 2021, 13 sacks. Bradley Chubb out there now, a Buffalo Bill. Congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. They got an edge rusher. Why? Because they want to be a Super Bowl contender. That's how you become a Super Bowl contender. Josh Hines Allen, not the quarterback, the guy in Jacksonville, 10.5 sacks, 2019. Joey Bosa out there, but hasn't had a double-digit sack season in 4 or 5 years? Most likely he'll be in a Bucs uniform. Maybe not. Maybe he is. Maybe that's the plan. Pay the cheap cost. It's cheap. 2016, 10.5 sacks. Max Crosby out there for trade. Will the Bucs make it? 10 sacks, 2019. James Pierce Jr., 2025, 10.5 sacks. Looks like he's not going to play this year or forever again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10 years. 6. You expect a pass rusher in this draft? Who? Play the odds. If you got a proven pass rusher, go out there and spend the money, fill the need, and then you can go out there and get a pass rusher. You don't have to depend on him. Right now, it looks like the Bucs are going to bargain basement shop, go out there and get somebody, and then mix a rookie in there and expect them to make the impact that only 6 pass rushers, 6 in the last 10 years have made. I still think Jason Light's a great GM. And Brent, you can sit there and laugh all freaking day long. Because you're exactly the person I'm talking about. Like, I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate all your snide and little stupid comments about Baker Mayfield and how you want to see this team rebuild. And please, please, if this doesn't work out, for some of you Bucs fans, and I hate to say this, but this is where I'm at right now with you, right? So if they do go through a rebuild and they fire everybody, maybe if you get a dose of 5 to 10 years of losing, maybe you'll probably appreciate what's going on right now. We'll see what happens. I'll go out to the phone lines. Oh, you toe the company line. I got your company line right here on the Sports Web. Curtis, go ahead. Welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still waiting for the Bucs.
Listen, I've heard everything you said. I agree with you 100%. I would not take anything you said off of the board. I've been watching free agency all day, and it's made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach.
I mean, what are they doing over there? I mean, did the alarm clock, they did not get the memo that free agency started? You have all these edge rushers. People go, well, you don't want to overpay for this. You don't want to overpay for that. I've never seen so many freaking capologists in my life on Facebook and Twitter. You got to tell me, because I got to get these guys to do my freaking taxes. And I guarantee you, they probably wouldn't know how to do taxes at all. Not one bit.
Let me ask you this. The salary cap's $300 million. Who are we paying?
I guess they're paying their own guys, which I can appreciate. I can appreciate doing that. But here's what I do know that they've been able to do in the past. Jason Light and crew. They have been able to restructure those contracts to free up the money, and they haven't done that this year.
I mean, what I'm looking at is this. Okay, Vita's got a big contract. Winfield's got a big contract. Baker's contract is, and then you got Tristan. I mean, that's a decent amount of money, but that's not $300 million.
Well, again, I understand there's some type of budget out there that the Glazers have put out. I don't know what that type of budget is, but look, you want a budget last year, fine. You want a budget the year before, fine. But this is a year where you have to show some urgency because the fan base is upset. I get on this program Monday and Wednesday nights, and I hear fans just upset. I get on this program and see all across social media where fans are basically canceling their season tickets because the Bucs have not shown them that they don't just not want to be competitive, they want to be a Super Bowl contender. That's what fans are looking for. You're able to do it for Tom Brady for how many couple years? Why aren't you doing it now? Baker Mayfield doesn't deserve that. Todd Bowles doesn't deserve that. Every fan, the majority of fans in Bucs Nation want to fire Todd Bowles. You don't even want to give the guy a chance. You got to give him a chance. Give him a chance. Not a dumb and dumber chance. Not a 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, 1 in a million chance. At least a chance. Give him some horses. Give him some guys that can produce in the defense. They can get after the pass rusher, so you don't have to play him back in coverage like some of the Bucs fans say.
I'm gonna just tell you this: when Baltimore signed Hendrickson, I was like, "All right, I know we're gonna get Chubb." Then Chubb signed with Buffalo. I just shook my head. I couldn't even say anything.
Right.
And here's the bad part: these guys are from Florida.
Right. Exactly.
These guys
He's from Florida, supposedly wants to play in Florida, and yet the Bucs can't make it happen because they want a short-term deal, and they lose out to the Baltimore Ravens, who, by the way, got a new coach, new defensive-minded coach. They basically screwed the Max Crosby deal up because they knew they could get Hendrickson because they were actually talking to his agent talking to Hendrickson while Max Crosby and his family were getting the physical. How low down and shady do you have to be if you're the Baltimore Ravens? But listen, they made the deal. They paid the cost to be the boss.
It's a business, Pete. You got to remember that.
I understand it's a business, but there's ways of doing business, and they didn't do it the right way. But with that being said, now you got Max Crosby out there. Make a deal. If you're not going to make a deal, then I'm assuming that you're going to go on the draft and you're going to put your eggs in one basket, or you're going to hope and pray that Joey Bosa can turn it around with the new defensive line coach because he's familiar with them. And that doesn't always work out.
What would you right now? What would you give up for Crosby?
I give up a first-round pick, and I give up a fifth round next year. And one of those, if you want to make it a conditional pick, if he hits certain incentives, fine. He's damaged goods at this point, fine. He's going to be a lot better than what you got at this point. Or
would you try to trade up and take a rookie?
I mean, again, 6 guys out of 10 years. 6 guys, my friend. Parsons, Chubb, Allen, Bosa, Crosby, Pierce Jr. Are they going to come in here and make an impact right away? Yes or no? Are they going to make an impact?
No.
If your answer is no, then what the hell are we talking about? You got proven pass rushers. Go out there and get a proven pass rusher that can get after the damn quarterback. Cut the nonsense. Cut the shit, as my dad would say. Sorry, Dad, I cursed.
No, brother. Listen, I support you 100%.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here and I'm disgusted. I really am. And I'm like, what the F is going on?
All right, Kurt. Appreciate the call, man. We're going to get out to Corey in just a moment. All right. Appreciate you using the second call. All right. Yeah. So how disappointed are you from 1 to 10? I'm at a 10.5. I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. I know they made some moves. We'll talk about it, but they're not the moves you want. They're not the main move. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on the Evolution.
Hey, it's Frankie from Wisconsin.
What's going on?
I'm pissed as hell, man. I don't know if I can not bring my nonsense tonight.
Well,
I will try not to.
Well, it's okay, Frankie. I don't mind you bringing the nonsense at this point. Go ahead. What's on your mind here? How surprised are you that the Bucs haven't addressed their biggest need in free agency at this point, edge rusher?
Well, I think we got some morons in the offense. Like, literally, people are, like, talking for Todd Bowles. Right now, I'm like, dude, we need to get rid of Jason Light.
Right.
That's me. It's like, yeah, Todd Bowles may not know what he's doing right now, but, dude, what's Jason Light doing? Like, bro.
Well, to that point.
What is our main need? You're not even addressing it.
To that point, we don't know how much money or how much the budget is out there. I get it. They got a linebacker. They got a running back. They got a backup quarterback at this point. They got Sean Tucker back. They just got a defensive tackle, Ashawn Robinson, who played for the Carolina Panthers, 1 year, $10 million. I see a lot of short-term deals at this point. I mean, it's like, okay.
With the short-term deals and letting Mike Evans go, which still kind of pisses me off.
Right.
Do you think that we might be like hopping in for a deal for Max, or maybe with Micah Parsons still wanting to get traded again?
Well, Micah's not getting traded. He's happy in Green Bay at this point. Max Crosby, you can get him at a lower value. Dallas is out. They were looking to give up a first and a second. I'm not giving up a first and a second. If Spytech calls Light, I'm taking the call. You've got to make this move. If you don't make this move, you're going with a guy like Joey Bosa. Nothing against Joey Bosa, but I want him 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if he can do it still. I'm not sure if he can do it. So, yeah.
I mean, unless he can put Khalil Mack here, but
the thing is, it's going to be a cheap deal. That's what it comes down to, Frankie. What else?
If we get Joey Bosa, it's not going to be Joey Bosa from 4 years ago. So it's going to be that's going to be a really, really deep contract. Because if we get him for anything more than
it's disappointing the way they've gone about this. I'm disappointed. How disappointed are you from 1 to 10 with the way they started out free agency? And again, people telling me,
can we go 15? Can we say 15?
I mean, I think it's possible. I guess I'll allow that. 15 over 1 and 10. So 15, you're so disappoined. All right.
I'm extremely disappointed. I want to say 20. Like, dear God, what are you doing? Are you literally sitting on your thumbs? Did you hit the snooze on the free agency alarm clock? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, man. Appreciate the call as always. Okay.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yep. All right. Good stuff there. Let me go out to some of these calls that we missed really quick because I don't like to miss calls. If I can give out the phone number, you know it by heart. If you don't, it's my personal number, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Corey, welcome to the Evolution here on a Happy Hump Day edition. Yes.
Peter Rolex, man.
Yes, sir.
The Bucs laying down, man. They laying down. And
I mean, what are they doing at this point?
Todd under the bus.
We
Todd under the bus.
That's what I feel like. I mean, listen, if you're going to give this guy and he's going to play out his contract, because he shouldn't be on the hot seat. If Todd Bowles is not getting the help that he deserves at this point when it comes to signing free agents, especially in that edge room, if he's not getting that, then basically what you're telling me is he's really not on the hot seat, and he's going to say, they're going through some type of rebuild at this point, and he'll get the 2 years because
everything about this year, our backs was against the wall. You already got fans mad giving up their season ticket because we lost Mike.
Right.
That's gonna be a big withdrawal.
Right.
And then on top of that, Jason Light, he's more a drafting GM. He don't really make a whole lot of trades like that. I was thinking this year maybe he'll go in and make some trades, but the price of Max Crosby done dropped.
Right.
To the physical and everything. So you could probably get him, like you said, for a first in the conditional, a first in the fifth or something. And we ain't made no move. It seemed like we're doing everything on the cheap. And it seemed like we just signed a DT, a 3-tech or something like that. I mean, that's all good, but he can't get after the quarterback.
Well, listen, he's going to definitely help. He's going to definitely help the pass rush to a certain degree. Definitely going to help the running game. They got Ashawn Robinson again, 1 year, $10 million. That just broke about an hour ago.
But I mean,
you're replacing.
You're going to be on playing base. He ain't go playing nickel on third downs.
Right.
Like that.
You're replacing Logan Hall. That's what it comes down to, because Hall went to another bust here. And guys, hold off on the phone calls. I know you want to get in. We'll go out to Gene. We'll go out to Harry the Greek in just a moment there. Mr. Williams, I think he's trying to call in. But Corey, your level of frustration when it comes to, you know, what this team has been able to do or not do at this point at the start of free agency from 1 to 10.
Hey, it's out of 10. And before I go, man, it is what it is. They throwing Todd under the bus. The Bucs tanking, man. I'm calling it right now. The Bucs laying down, man.
All right. Well, I hope not. But Corey, appreciate the call. Use the second call if you want to. Okay.
All right, folks.
All right, man. Now, good stuff. Let me go out to this jabroni right there. I'm going to put him through the table if he keeps on calling and hanging up on me. Let's go out to Mr. Yes, that's how I'm feeling tonight. I don't know if you saw my rant there or monologue or whatever, but I'm just feeling. I was feeling upset tonight. Whether it's because I had a crappy day at work or the fact that every time I tried to take my mind off of how crappy it was at work, that there was no Bucs signings, especially when it came to the biggest position of need, which would be the edge rusher. So, what's your level of frustration, Mr. Mr. Gene here from Arizona, Mr. Gene Thomas?
Hey, how you doing? I tell you what, man, I feel your pain. And what this takes me back to is last season. When you have 7 games and you only need to win 1 game to get into the playoffs, that's a problem.
Right.
And when you look at that roster and you think that roster is good enough to get you into the playoffs the next season, that's a problem.
Right.
What we've seen so far from Jason Light, and I have to trust the process. I just have to, because I would be hypocrite if I went any other way than what I've been since Jason Light's been with Tampa. I'm just frustrated right now. I don't see improvements. I mean, just don't.
What are you
outside of the offensive coordinator potentially upgrading an offensive coordinator, which we don't even know if that's the case even, until we see them get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see anything. And looking at this year's draft, and I think we're drafting at 15.
15, yes.
Yes. I mean, where is your needle mover at 15? I mean, you've lost some key players. I see what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, I think this is where you should go all in for Todd Bowles, because I honestly believe this is the make or break season for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a make or break season, but again, I just wonder if this is a make or break season for Todd Bowles. Is it fair? Are the Bucs being fair to him by not giving him an elite or a proven pass rusher? You had Trey Hendrickson out there, and so we're supposedly in that, but you get the deal done. And, I don't care if it's a short-term deal. Yeah. He didn't want to sign a 4-year deal. Baltimore was ready to do that. I would just say, listen, if you believe that you're on the cusp and you have some needs on this team, and not only do you want to win the NFC South, but you want to prove that you're a Super Bowl contender, you go out there and get an elite pass rusher like a Hendrickson, which they weren't able to do, and also a Max Crosby. And if you can't make that deal and close that deal, then what are we talking about? You're talking about depending on rookies. And I just gave you the number, six rookies that were double-digit sack artists when they came out of the draft. 6 out of 10 years. That's it.
That's it.
That's going to get it done?
And this is my struggle. I believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans deserve better. Season ticket holders, casual fans, whatever, they deserve better than what we're seeing right now. You only need 1 game to get into the playoffs. Back into the playoffs.
Right.
You can't get it done. You win the last game of the season, who cares?
Right.
That doesn't get you into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You're dependent on somebody else. That roster right there, they should have been making upgrades. I haven't seen any reasonable upgrades that gives me confidence that this team will be able to compete with the Carolina Panthers. Have you seen what they're doing?
Yes, I've seen what they're doing. They won the division last year, and they're trying to improve on that. They're trying to continue to win the division. I mean, that
100%.
Right. That's what you do. That's what you do if you're serious about winning. And a lot of people say the Bucs are not serious about winning. And essentially, Mike Evans, who I want you to comment on, and then we'll run here because we got plenty of other callers that call in, and I appreciate you and your time again, Mr. Buck. What you heard, former Bucs podcast here, Mr. Gene Thomas, out there in Arizona. Mike Evans essentially told you that the San Francisco 49ers at this point are more equipped and they have a better situation, even with being in one of the toughest divisions, if not the toughest division in all the NFL. We have the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, the LA Rams, and then the 49ers. But he believes that's a better situation than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this was my challenge to the organization on Monday night. Show the rest of the NFL world that they're wrong, that they're going to go for it, they're going to do it. And what have they done so far? Not much of anything, especially when it comes to edge rush. So your thoughts on Mike Evans, and then we'll run.
I'm going to tell you right now, Mike Evans is very crucial for me and you. When he was drafted, right before he was drafted, I remember that me and you, we were starting our serious podcast career to the trajectory of where you are now. It's incredible.
Thank you.
By the way, congratulations on everything that you've done.
Thank you.
The hard work you've put in. But I remember Mike Evans, and I remember being one of the people that said, hey, I'm excited to see Mike Evans come to Tampa. And there were so many people that were being misled by other people. And I'm get off that subject, but just seeing what Mike Evans was able to accomplish and what he meant to Tampa. Me and you are old school Tampa fans.
Yep.
We can go back to the 80s.
Yep.
And we've seen the level of talent that has come and gone in Tampa. And I have to say, as much as I love James Wilder, as much as I love Doug Williams, as much as I love Kevin House, Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. If he doesn't go first ballot, it's a travesty of justice. But I will say this, Mike Evans has meant so much to me, just as a long-term Bucs fan.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say enough about him, and I understand and I respect him for wanting to go somewhere where he can compete. And the fact that tells me a lot about the roster that they're bringing back for this season. And the fact that he's wanting to go somewhere and try to better himself. It tells me everything I need to know about what this team is going to look like coming in here. They have to produce this year.
Well, they have to produce this year, but they don't seem like a team, again, that has much urgency, especially when it comes to free agency. We'll see what happens because I know there's another wave of free agency, but I just would assume that they would be more interested in Max Crosby, especially with this price dropping. I get it. He may be damaged goods, but he's a lot better than what they got right now. And I definitely think, he's been through surgeries before. He's been able to play through them. He's a tough as a $2 steak. And I think the guy definitely, a generational talent that can definitely help that defensive line at the end of the day. Gene, appreciate you as always. All right.
Yeah. Real quick before I go.
Yes.
I want everybody, if you're a Bucs fan, go look at the depth chart after the draft and see what the Bucs have. There is such a steep drop off on the defensive line and on the offensive line as well.
Right.
It's scary. It's scary what they're going into the season with. I'm really interested to see what Jason Licht does. I trust, like I said, I have to trust the process and see what he does. But right now, it's just not very promising.
It's not very
Fans
promising.
deserve better.
I agree with you on that. And I think a lot of fans thought that it was going to be different this year. And it has turned out to be not different, especially when, again, it comes down to edge rushers making that splash move, at least making one splash move when it comes
and let's talk about the linebacker core too. Hopefully some other listener will talk about the linebacker core. We haven't even touched on that, and that was a disaster last year.
It was a disaster, and I think Anzalone is definitely going to help, even though he's up there in age, 31. He's a good coverage linebacker, good player, team leader for the Lions. I think he could do the same thing. Remains to be seen if this guy right there, Levante David, is going to come back and play. We'll see, and even if he does, he's still up there in age, so you're going to definitely have to have an infusion of young talent, and you're going to have to address this in the draft because, once again, you didn't do enough of that in free agency. Gene, appreciate the call as always, my friend, all right?
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. For some reason tonight, I don't know what it is, Twitter is not working. So we're not on Twitter, but we are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. So thank you very much for tuning in. We're on Instagram Live right there. We're on TikTok Live as people are tuning in right now over there. So we'll see if we can get that worked out. We'll go out to your comments in just a moment. But I want to go out to this guy because he's been kind of trying to talk me off the ledge all day long. Actually, I'll go out to one of our phone callers, and I get out to my co-host in just a moment. Realtor David Zuzman, welcome to the evolution of sports talk television, my friend.
Hello, my friend.
How you doing?
So I'm very, very, very disappointed.
From 1 to 10, what's the disappointment at this point?
Yeah, but not surprised.
Right.
Okay, because what I see different this year is that a lot of people are upset with the lack of moves, right? But that's pretty much what Jason Light does every offseason. You know, I would say that out of the 13 different off seasons that he was the general manager, maybe he acted different than that in one, maybe two of them. The rest, he doesn't do anything.
Well, again, I don't think that's all on Jason Light. I think it's on the budget. I think it's, it's on ownership. And I love the Glazers too, but there's some times where they have a budget. There's some type of budget there, and I don't know what that budget is all about. But again, if the emphasis is on we want to get that bad taste out of our mouth, and I'm saying we because we as a fan base, but if this organization wants to get the bad taste out of their mouth because they were a laughingstock the second half of the year, if you want to get that bad taste out of your mouth, what do? You improve in free agency. Why is that tool of free agency in there in the first place? Because if you have draft bust, if you have JTS, if you have Chris Braswell, if you have Logan Hall, who's moved on now, if you have those players, they're not quite as productive. You can fill them with proven players to mask or to over. I don't know what the word I'm looking for at this point, but to mask those busts at the end of the day. That's what you're looking for. That's what you can do. You can improve. That's why the New England Patriots improved. They made those moves in free agency. That's why the Seattle Seahawks improved. They made moves in free agency. It wasn't just the draft. They made moves. You've got to have a combination. It can't be just we're all going to just build through the draft. No, it's built through the draft, and then if you have needs, also build through free agency. And sign those players. And for some reason, and again, they have Max Crosby out there. They have an opportunity, but the level of urgency to fill the edge rusher need to me is disappointing. I thought they would be the first day they would sign Trey Hendrickson, especially when that rumor came out. May have just been a rumor. He may not wanted to play. There was talk of he wants $30 to $40 million. The Bucs are only willing to pay this. He got $28 million, I believe, from the Baltimore Ravens. Lots of guaranteed money. They didn't want to sign him to a 4-year deal because he's 31 years old. But what else? You've got to you got to do something different. And this team is always safe and calculated. And I'm not saying not be calculated, but this guy's been able to do it. This player's done it. He's got 81 sacks in his career. What are we looking at here? He's coming off an injury. We have 4.5 sacks still, and he wasn't interested in playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. But overall, the consistency factor, he's a proven commodity. You can't say that about draft picks. Six players.
True.
6 players in the last 10 years that have come out as a rookie and have had double-digit sacks, and that's the kind of effort you're going to have to expect if you're going to depend on a rookie to come in here and fill that need. What else, Realtor David Zuzman?
Yeah, so the disappointing part for me is I follow a lot of different podcasts and everything about the Buccaneers. And what I get is a sense that there is a big part of the fan base that they are kind of like, I expect Todd Bowles to have 11 wins and to go to the NFC championship game, otherwise he deserves to be fired. And they don't look that he's not getting any help. So how can you possibly expect for him to do better than he did last year when we are not getting the help that he needs? And that really pisses me off. And I think we have to demand more And there is a formula to win a Super Bowl.
Mm.
So, for example, when we won the Super Bowl, did we have a good pass rusher? Yes, we did. We had Shaq Barrett. We had Dominican Stu. We had depth.
Mm-hmm.
But we were not paying 2 wide receivers more than $20 million. So, lesson learned. The reason why we don't have money right now for the defense is that we can only afford one expensive wide receiver.
Who says
and we need
that?
to have young wide receivers on rookie contracts to be able to make a run.
Who said that? Because the money is there. They make money. You know, again, if you want to spend the money and you want to spend it on your team, you're able to do it. You know how I know this? Because it happened when Tom Brady was here. How many years did they do it? And people go, well, they never done it before. Well, they did it with Tom Brady. So now they can't do it. If the coach's job is out on the line and he's on the hot seat, what are we doing here? Are you going to give this guy a chance? Are you going to give him some weapons?
No,
are you going to give him?
There is a major difference, Peter. The reason why they did everything that they did when Tom Brady was here is because Jason Light was not worried about the outcome. So, for example, if they spend all that money, right, and they would lose and not win a Super Bowl, it would all fall on Brady. But right now, we don't have a Tom Brady in the team, and that's why it always takes the coward approach, the cheap approach, and that's why we are not improving.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. As always, use that second one. Appreciate also the YouTube super chats. As always, my friend. You're killing it.
Yes, thank you. Thanks so much, and go Bucs.
Yes, go Bucs. He says go Bucs, go Bucs.
Wait up, no more. Wait up.
He says go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Hopefully it's exciting, Todd, if you get some weapons.
Fire the cannon.
Get an edge rusher. All right, let's go out to this guy right here, my co-host who called in before. Here we go. Professional handicapper extraordinaire, and the guy's been my psychologist all day long, trying to talk me off the ledge at this point. Mr. Harry the Greek saying to me, it's going to be okay. Well, that's not okay. Right there. Let's go out to that second shot. There we go right there. Harry the Greek, welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. As you told me, there were edge rushers out there, and I said they're all falling off the board. Chasen has signed with the Commanders. Owe has signed, I believe, with the Commanders. There's other ones. Again, we talked about Trey Hendrickson, the ridiculous contract to Jalen Phillips for $30 million. I mean, they've had opportunities too in the past. Danielle Hunter comes to mind. Bucs could have made a trade for him. Brian Burns, Bucs could have made a trade for him. You have a need here. You've had this need. If Todd Bowles is on the hot seat, my problem or my frustration is it certainly seems like this team doesn't have the urgency, especially with proven pass rushers. Tell me I'm wrong. Welcome to the evolution.
What's up, Peter?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
Not bad. I just saved a whole bunch of money in my car insurance by not switching to Geico.
Well, there you go. There you go. I do that for a living. I try to get people insurance quotes and did a terrible job today. That's probably why I came in so salty, if you will, because usually Wednesdays are my favorite day of the week, but this was not a good day today. And then on top of it, trying to take my mind off of it as I was Bucs fans because I was trying to do that.
It's not a bad day, Pete. It's not a bad day. It's, look, do I think, Max Crosby's value has diminished? No, I haven't. And you're not going to listen, I'll be really surprised if this guy gets traded until draft day. And I'll tell you why. Because they know what they have. And if he's truly not damaged goods, by that time his knee is going to be healed. He's going to pass his physicals, and then he's going to demand, all those draft picks that they were talking about from before.
Right.
Be careful if someone does draft him before then.
Oh, trade for him? You mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry. Trade for him. Not draft him. Trade for him before then, because if they take less than the 2 first rounders that they were going to get, he really is damaged goods, and the Bucs didn't want him in the first place. There's something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm sorry, there just is.
Well, this is the story here from Diana Rossini of The Athletic. After Max Crosby underwent testing today at the Ravens facility, Baltimore made the decision as an organization that it could not move forward with the deal based on the results of the medical. Keep in mind, his family's there. He's taking his physical, and they're talking to Trey Hendrickson on on the other room there, or talking to his agent about signing him. Crosby will remain a Raider for now, as other teams can weigh any potential risk that comes with trading for him. She also goes on to say, don't expect teams to be lining up immediately to get back into the Max Crosby trade talk. Some teams I spoke to tonight expect the Raiders to be the ones calling them. It'll be up to the individual team's medical staffs to decide on whether to assume the risk of landing Crosby.
Listen, those are opinions.
Right.
Everybody's got one. They're just like assholes. Everybody's got one. You know
Right.
that.
Right.
Okay. Of
Right.
course the Raiders are going to be calling because they just got egg on their face.
Mm.
They just got slammed and didn't get the 2 first-round draft picks that they were going to get. Now they have to resell this again.
Right.
So teams that are trying to go after him are going to try to lowball the Raiders. What I'm saying is, if the Raiders end up taking a smaller offer than what they got from Baltimore, let me be clear when I say this, the guy has something wrong with his knee. That's why I don't think, in my opinion, that he is going to be traded
Right.
until right around draft day. So you're going to have to hold your horses on that one.
Well, we'll see. But again, I think it's comical because everybody knew this around the NFL, that he did have some damage to his knee. Now, it was said that it was a cleanup, but actually what you come to find out, it's a structural repair.
Yeah, I told you that already. It's not so much. They
So
have
he's
to
going to fail.
repair the meniscus.
The point is, he's going to fail the physical anywhere he goes because he just had knee surgery.
Not necessarily, Pete. He
Right.
could be behind schedule. Okay, behind schedule. I've had that same knee operation.
Okay.
Look, he may be behind schedule. That could be damaged goods, as you call it, but it's too soon to say that.
All right, let's go out to what the Bucs did do before the show here. Ashawn Robinson, the Buccaneers agreed to terms on a 1-year, $10 million contract, according to
Good
Ian
pickup.
Rappaport. Robinson was released by the Panthers on Tuesday. With him, he spent last 2 years in Carolina. Originally started out, I believe, with the Detroit Lions. Logged 65 tackles, 21 solo, including 2.5 sacks, 3 passes defensed, 1 fumble recovery across 17 regular season games in 2025. He will now join, of course, the defensive line that includes Vita Vea, Elijah Roberts, and Kalijah Kancey. Now, if you look at his numbers, very similar to Logan Hall in that his best year was in 2024, where you had 43 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and then 2025 tailed off. He's 30 years old. Much like Logan Hall, good year in 2024, then kind of took a step back when he got, more snaps. So what do you think of this? 1 year, $10 million. Once again, we see these deals, 1-2 year deals, not these long-term ones. So a lot of people are saying right now what the Bucs are doing is they're trying to do a rebuild, or they're not. There's no urgency for this team.
What they did with this signing, Pete, I'm going to cut you right off. They just stopped, the porous gaps that they have where they weren't able to stop the run.
Right.
Between him and Vita Vea, good luck. You're talking about 650 pounds of pure beef sitting back there. It's going to be very difficult. And whatever linebackers you have from behind you, trust me, they're going to be able to fly around on the field. That pickup is more beneficial than you could ever imagine. That's the best $10 million the Buccaneers are going to spend. Is he the big splash that everybody's talking about? Absolutely not. But he is going to be that run stuffer with Vita Vea. Good luck running on that.
It looks like it's going to be Joey Bosa unless the Bucs do make a trade for Max.
You don't want Joey Bosa. You might as well just wait in the draft, just like I was talking about. I understand you don't get all the sexy. They just don't automatically. How do I put it? They don't blossom immediately. They're not the 15 sacks a year guy. But if you are really, really stout in the middle, even mediocre edge rushers look really good, Pete.
All right, I got these statistics. I told you guys here, 6 players in the last
6
10
or
years.
7, yeah.
Yeah, 6 players. And the history of the NFL, 36 players have officially recorded double-digit sacks during their rookie season. Since that statistic was first tracked in 1982, the group includes a mix of dedicated edge rushers, interior defensive linemen, through elite edge impact, statistically rare. In the 5 years leading up to 2015, only in the 5 years leading up to 2015, only 2 rookies reached the 10-sack mark.
So you're not. So hold on. You're looking at the glass half empty. I'm looking at the glass half full. That means if you do get a defensive lineman, he's got a chance to have double-digit sacks.
Okay.
See, that's the way I look at it.
Right.
That's the way everybody should be looking at it.
I've loved Jason Line, but what he's missed on and what he's hurt is what he's been hurt by.
He's missed in free agency, okay?
Well,
His
missed
draft
JTS.
listen, JTS, okay, that's fine.
Uh-huh.
He didn't fit this system.
Chris Braswell, 2.5 sacks. He hasn't worked out. It's a second-round pick. Logan Hall, he hasn't worked out. I mean, he was serviceable, but
you got a good point.
I mean, Noah Spence. I mean, I'm going all the way back, but this has been a problem. Yaya Diaby is a good player. Is he a great player? I think he could take that next step.
Yeah, Yaya Diaby, you're getting what you get with him. He's never going to be any better than what he is right now. He's going to be okay. He's just a serviceable guy. I had him a little bit overrated, but I can see it. Pete,
I just think it's
hate to say it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you talked about it or not, but I talked about this 5 weeks ago. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to let Mike Evans walk, I feared that this was going to happen. I'm not saying that they're.
Are they in a rebuild?
No, I think every team is always rebuilding. Okay, so that's a very vague statement that people use. So are you rebuilding to get better, or are you rebuilding to try to accumulate your picks? Or are you rebuilding because you know you're there? Look, the question is this. Remember the glass half full or half empty?
Sure.
Okay. Last year was 2 seasons in 1 year for the Buccaneers. In the first 8 games, I remember saying, hey, man, this team could be 2-6 just as easy as it could be 6-2. So are they that good, or are they lucky? Well, in reality, let's look at the second half of the season. You only needed to win 1 game to make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm calling it like what it is.
Couldn't do it.
So, from my perspective, the guy that watches the games all the time, they just weren't that good.
No, I mean, even Todd Bowles admitted to it.
Because of the injuries.
Well, not just because of the injuries, but even Todd Bowles spoke about this at the Combine. He said that even when we were winning the games, we were doing the right things in the fourth quarter, late down the stretch, but we weren't doing it the whole game. So they were fortunate. And then when it got to the second half, they couldn't do that.
Pete.
Right.
But most teams do that, Pete.
Right.
Very few teams play 4 quarters for 17 straight games or 16 straight games. You don't get that if you get a handful of all 4 quarters and 3 phases of the game absolutely perfect, you've done something. You're a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, glass half empty, glass half full. Look, the team is a mediocre team. That's the bottom line. They're not one edge rusher away from making it to the Super Bowl. However, if you bring in the pieces like they are right now, and also re-signing Tucker for the 1 year, I understand why they did it.
Sure.
You're going to have a decent running game. I wasn't a fan of the K-Dot signing. A lot of people were. I think they could have spent that money and allocated it somewhere else. You haven't talked about the elephant in the room. Everybody's talking about, oh, my God, we need an edge rusher. You have an offensive line that's atrocious right now.
Well,
okay?
I'll disagree with you on that because I think –
because of the injuries, Pete.
Right.
Okay? That's the elephant in the room that I'm seeing. You want to win football games, you sure as hell better keep Baker Mayfield standing upright. Okay.
Yeah.
Reason why the Bears didn't make the Super Bowl this year, sure as hell wasn't because of their offense.
Right.
Okay. It was because of the defense.
Yes.
But they got as far as they did because of that offense and a Caleb Williams. Tampa could do the same exact thing
because they could run the ball with a 7th round pick. All right, let's go out to Alex. Alex,
anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to be so loquacious there.
No, that's okay.
Actually, I want to start off by saying hallelujah, Harry the Greek. My God, you said almost everything on point. Besides one thing, I disagree with you on a comment you made about the offensive line. Offensive line was horrible just because of the injuries. But
that's what I said.
The reason why I called tonight is start talking about the Glazers first. I had a thought, and I'm not trying to copycat off the JP Peterson show, which, by the way, guys, tune in to 10 to 12 a.m. It's 10 to 12 every morning. It's a good show.
Yeah, he kills it. Absolutely.
Are you a paid spokesperson?
Is it possible? Now, keep this in your mind. The Bucs are about to end their lease with Ray J at the end of the year. City of Tampa has made it known, because it's been talked about, obviously, because of the Rays and what they're doing, that the Glazers have said nothing about any renovations, any extension, anything. My point is, talking about the Glazers, do you think maybe they're going to potentially look at some of the team? Maybe they're done. Maybe they feel, because NFL teams and their owners, I mean, see the Seahawks, for example. They just won the Super Bowl and they're still selling. I'm thinking maybe that the Glazers are done. Talking about Jason Light for a second, and then I'll get out of here. Listen, besides Tom Brady years, I'm going to say something that Peter's probably going to get mad at me about. But I think Jason is mediocre at best. At best.
I'm not mad at you.
And
I've been saying that
you're
for a
gonna
while.
say, oh, well, we got Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. We only got 3/4 of that roster because of Brady. Let's be honest.
Well,
The Glazers gave Brady that roster. The Glazers said, you know what? We can get Brady. Let's go ahead and let Brady bring in who he wants. He did. Now, can I say some of the defensive pieces were because of Jason? Sure. But after
all the defensive pieces. Not some. Hold on, Alex. All the defensive pieces were because of Jason Light. Every one of those defensive.
But listen, Alex. That team was ready made. They just needed a quarterback, and why it was ready made at the time.
Alex, they were going all out to win the Super Bowl. Yes. That's why they ended up getting Brady. They were selling it out.
Agreed,
this is not this. Hold on, Alex. Hold on. This isn't the same defense as it was back in 19 and 20. It's not even close. That's the reason why they're not going all out. That team was ready to make a big run when they got Brady because they had that defense. But people also forget it wasn't Brady that won that Super Bowl. Nope. It was that damn defense. Yep. Brady sat in the sidelines just going, wow, what in the world am I watching here? This is phenomenal.
I mean, he threw for 199 yards. They actually ran the ball more. I'm not saying Brady wasn't instrumental with throwing for 40 touchdowns, but, at the time, the defense was ready-made, and then furthermore, he built the offensive line up. You had the weapons there with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. What you needed was a quarterback to solidify that. Now, does that nullify the fact that Jason Light was aggressive? Because people go, well, Brady made that trade. Brady didn't make the trade. Jason Light made the trade for Gronkowski for a 4th-round pick. Light made that trade. Okay, it wasn't just Brady. They went after Leonard Fournette. They went after Antonio Brown. Was Brady's influence in it? Of course he was. But Light made those moves. He made that team. I'll give him credit for that. I'm just saying, why can't you keep the same energy if there's some type
of... They won the Super Bowl with a 40-plus-year-old quarterback.
I want to add this super quick, and then I'll get out of here. Putting that Super Bowl error behind, which I agree with everything y'all said. Since then, we jumped the gun. We extended Godwin way too early. We signed Zion McCollum to a ridiculous, absurd deal, which was absolutely you found out how bad that was. Your draft pick in Benjamin Morrison last year did absolutely crap. Yeah. Mike Evans left. Wait, we will finish. Mike Evans left because you literally drafted his replacement in front of him in Emeka Egbuka. So obviously he knows, and that's why
you had to draft Egbuka because Godwin couldn't stay on the field and Evans couldn't stay on the field, and McMillan was hurt. Good thing you did draft Egbuka because when those receivers went down.
No, I mean I agree, but in Mike Evans' eyes, you just drafted his replacement.
I mean that's the business. I mean Aaron Rodgers got the same treatment when the Packers drafted Jordan Love. I mean that's how it is. Mike knows that he's only a couple years away from retirement. The Bucs had to cover themselves. If they felt like Egbuka was the best player in the draft, also the best wide receiver in the draft, and they got it. And you could see the first half of the year how good he was.
Guys, I want to add this last two about Todd Bowles, and it ain't bad actually. It's actually not bad. I actually don't think that a lot of this really is on Todd Bowles, and I'm going to tell you why I think a lot of this is not on Todd Bowles, and a lot of Bucs fans are going to disagree with me until I say this. Todd Bowles really has a decently good defensive scheme, but the reality is that Jason has not drafted the talent to meet his scheme. You saw that when I watched tape of Evan Klosky, who posted how Todd Bowles is pressing man coverage. Jamel Dean's covering his man, but you got Zion McCollum, which is a good play call. It's a good play call, but you got McCollum downfield getting absolutely burnt. I don't think that Todd Bowles is playing bad defense. I don't think he's a good head coach. I think he's a good DC if he gets the right talent. but I just don't think he's a good head coach. Now, going back to Jason Licht, I just don't think that Jason Licht has the talent to match his scheme. And ultimately, I think that went into a big decision into Mike Evans, because Mike Evans is like, look, I don't see this defense getting any better. I want to take my last 2 years of my career, 2 or 3 years of my career, and I want to go win some football and get my yards while I can. And I think ultimately that's why he left. Guys, I appreciate everything you do. If I have some time, I'll call him and make my second call. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Alex. Good stuff there. Bringing it. We'll go out to the comments there. We got a YouTube super chat to also report on. Mr. Realtor David Zuzman with a $10 YouTube super chat. Really quick, I didn't get a chance to promote the sponsors of the show. Of course, you like the haircut, you like the beard trim, you like a fade, you don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great and talented barbers at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex Reporter sent you. Let me go back out to the phone lines here. Trevor, welcome to the Evolution.
How's it going, Peter?
Well, you know me, man. I'm upset. I'm fired up. I mean, how disappointed are you with the start of free agency from 1 to 10 with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team?
I'll say a 8. I'm still recovering from the Mike Evans decision to go to San Francisco.
I think a lot of people are at this point.
Right, and then we didn't get Trey Henderson.
Nope.
We went to Baltimore, so
yep,
we wasn't able to get better as far as edge rusher. So it looks like Jason Licht has to knock this draft out the park.
Well, and again, I put it out there: 6 rookies in the last 10 years who had double-digit sacks as rookies. That's the kind of production you're expecting that will improve this team. And I don't know if he can get that. I think Jason Light's talented enough. Maybe he trades up or you get aggressive. Maybe you make a trade for Max Crosby. I don't know what they're going to do, but they have to do something. And it doesn't look good right now. It looks bad. A lot of edge rushers off the board.
Let me ask you something, Peter. What's our cap room looking like? What's the cap situation looking like?
I don't even know what the cap situation is like. You know how I feel about this. It's like the national debt. If you want to move it, if you want to make it happen, if you want to spend money, you'll do it. If you don't, if there's some type of budget out there that the Glazers proposed or put out there, then of course, Jason Licht and crew, they have to adhere to it. But again, this is not putting Todd Bowles in the best situation. This is not putting this team in the best situation to win. All the teams in the NFC South, especially the NFC South champion Carolina Panthers, have improved. Do you think the Bucs have improved? Maybe on offense, maybe a little bit on defense here, but you got to get an edge rusher. And do you think a rookie's going to come in here, or 2 rookies are going to come in here and be able to, get after the passer? I think it remains to be seen at this point. I'd rather have a proven pass rusher. You may have to pay $24, $28, $30 million, but that's why they don't grow on trees. That's why I get on this mic on the sports web and say, go out there, be aggressive. We talked about it all offseason. Be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive. And at this point, it's been complete and total crickets.
Yep. And Peter, I'll say this too. Sometimes, let's just face it, you have to overpay for the players that you really want.
Right.
And so if you want to trade Henderson, or if you wanted a Max Crosby, the price is going to be high. You know that before you even call the agent.
Sure.
And so it's one of those things. It's a business, man. So you can't be like, well, we're absolutely not going to go past this line. You sometimes you just got to take some chances, man. Like, you look at a team like, when the Rams won it in 21, they said, the hell with it. We're going all in.
Yep.
We're going to make some trades. We may have to overpay some players. We may not even be good for the next 2 or 3 years. But you know what? We're going all in to win a Super Bowl. And I just don't see that.
Screw those first-round picks. Screw those picks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't give a damn, man. If the freaking Raiders want 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, they better be glad I'm not in charge, because if it was me, I'd say the hell with it. We're doing it.
Well, listen, you don't have to do that anymore, because the gig is up, if you will. The Baltimore Ravens torpedoed that deal. He's damaged goods. So now they'll go back and, maybe he'll call Jason Light being John Spytek, and he'll give him a first-round pick and a conditional pick or something along those lines. But you get him for less value, and he may not be necessarily ready for the off-season workouts. He may be ready for training camp, but at least you have a fully healthy, if you will, Max Crosby for the season. How good do you think that defensive line and that defense gets with the Crosby? It's
significantly better.
Yes, absolutely. That's what it's about, getting better. It's not about the big names. Everyone, you want to play Madden, your big name. It's a big name because he's a proven commodity who's done it, 65 sacks. You can't find those players. That's why they cost so much in the first place. What else, Trevor?
I'll just say this, and I'll end it, man. Like, we need to get aggressive.
Agree.
Or this time next year, we're probably going to be talking about a new head coach and maybe a new GM. And I don't wish that on nobody.
I don't either, but I don't think they're being. I don't think they're being fair to Todd Bowles at all. Unless the plan is, again, that they're not going to get rid of Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is not on the hot seat at this point, which he may not be, and we assume that he's on a hot seat. Maybe you get a year or something, but you got to still win the NFC South. If you don't do that, that's not good because that's not a great division. And you still got to make the playoffs, in my opinion, or some heads are going to roll because the Glazers are not going to put up with it. But they got to give him a chance, and I feel like they're doing everything they can to limit those opportunities. I know we're early in the process, but this is not a thing where you have to wait around. You're not waiting around. You're going after proven pass rushers. Trevor, appreciate the call as always, my friend. All right, use the second one if you like.
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let me get out to the comments. Plenty of those. Let's go out to Instagram Live really quick. Tampa Stunner. We need the Sports Web 7-on-7 tournament. Love it, my friend. We'll definitely have to make that happen. Let's go out to King Cook. What's good, Peter? What's up, Webheads? What's up with you? Justin Parks, 3744. Happy hump day, Peter and Harry. Yes, happy hump day.
Hump day.
Because it's usually my favorite day at this point, but it is not my favorite day. Let's go out to Roger Shu, the tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
Hurry up, AEW is on. Listen, I'm not holding you back from watching AEW. You want to watch AEW, go watch AEW. Go watch a second-rate wrestling company, and as I'm calling him out, he's calling me. So let's go out to him.
Acknowledge me.
Roger
That's
Shu.
right. Acknowledge your tribal troll.
Yeah, welcome back to the evolution of sports talk television. How is AEW over the sports web?
It was okay.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
I've been watching the entire show.
Okay, thank you.
You're much better.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right.
You're welcome.
What's on your mind?
So, first of all, I'm not going to say anything about today at work because we know what happened.
Well, we do know what happened, and it absolutely sucked. It was sucked.
This guy sucks.
Yes.
That was me.
So,
yeah.
Okay. My thinking is maybe the Glazers and Jason Light are not getting an edge rusher. This sounds going to sound crazy. Maybe they're trying to sabotage the season because they have in mind to get rid of Todd Bowles, and they figure by letting this happen, he doesn't get the players. That gives them an excuse to get rid of him and get a new head coach that they want.
I don't know.
Am I crazy?
I'm not about conspiracy theories, but I would think, again, I know how much the Glazers trust in Jason Light, but if it goes south, I don't know if he would be able to keep his job at this point. But people are saying
maybe
rebuild.
they want to get rid of both of them.
I hope not, but they're doing everything they can to not give these people the chances to keep their jobs. If you're limiting their budget, you're limiting this and that, it's not going to work out for you. You have needs on this team. Number one need is edge rusher, and you still have not signed an edge rusher at this point. We're at March 11, 2026, 2 days in the free agency, and you still have not signed an edge rusher. By the way, started Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so 3 days in now.
And why do you think that hasn't happened?
I don't know. Maybe overpriced. Maybe they don't want to overpay at this point. But to me, you've got to pay the cost, if you will, to be the boss, right? As the great Snoop Dogg would say.
True. The media out of Chicago is saying that Ryan Poles is all in on the Max Crosby deal.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. He's out there.
We'll see.
Yep, he's out there.
I don't know.
He's out there at this point. So
I mean, I'd be happy. I mean, I would even on, like you said, even on one good knee, I would take him in a heartbeat.
I think a lot of people would, especially with the pass rush that's going on here in Tampa Bay or lack thereof. What else, Roger?
That's pretty much it, man. I mean, I honest to God, I hope you have a bad Wednesday every week because this show has been fire.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That was an epic rant.
Thank you. I love the
Keep going. Don't stop.
Well, I will not stop. Thank you. I'll try not to have a heart attack. I'll see you tomorrow at work. All right.
All right, brother.
Breakfast on you. Epic rant. Got your epic rant. Let's go out to Tim here. Good evening, Peter. Good evening to you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Chris Cole here. It seems like the Glazers are low-key looking to sell the team before the Ray J lease is up in a few years. We'll see. That's been talked about. Jingle 25-25. We need edge and corner. Agree. Tim says, can't explain, no edge. Yes, no edge. Fans have been asking that question for a while now. Brent O'Neill, I think we are tanking, brother. I hope not. Cole, CSB, brother. Hey, Peter, USA, go Italy. Yes, the baseball powerhouse there at the World Baseball Classic really took it to the USA. Who do they have on that team? I don't even know. I think I watched a little bit of the World Baseball Classic, but you would hope and think that the USA would be able to take care of business here. Let's go out to Mr. Harry the Greek back there. Had to take care of some business. Did you see this? I don't know. Have you watched the World Baseball Classic? Because it is baseball season. As USA got killed last night by Italy. Well, what's going on with that?
They got beat by Italy, but as long as Italy scored 6 runs in this game,
yeah,
they had almost a Buccaneers chance, except they actually made it in.
So the USA did make it.
Yeah, as long as Italy scored 6 runs, I believe that's how it was. They didn't care who won or lost at that point. So if Italy scored 6 runs or more, it didn't make a difference. How that happens, I have no idea.
Tony Soprano was on that team.
Who knows?
Was the Goodfellas were on that team?
Who knows?
Ray Liotta, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. Was Joe Pesci batting cleanup? I mean, who's Italy? Who do they have as Italy? Who's an Italy baseball player?
I do know, and I recognized one of the pitchers. He pitched for the Colorado Rockies. They're a scrappy team, Pete, and they play small ball. They can play the long ball, and they're not a bad baseball team.
All right. Well, somebody's going to give me a call here because he's a baseball fan. So I'm going to get the confirmation here. We're going to go out to Alex. Alex, use your second call really quick. Italy.
Heck yeah. Hey, listen, talking about the Baseball Classic, though, did you hear the rumor how the Team USA's, I don't know who their, what's the word, manager is, but they thought Team USA was already in, and they tanked that game yesterday on purpose. Oh, look that up.
All right.
Also, did you hear about what happened with Cal Riley and Rosarena?
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
Wasn't that wild?
Yeah, that is wild. Let me see here. I don't see any guys that I know off of Italy at this point for the Italy baseball team. All right, Alex, appreciate the call, my friend. All right.
I'll see you guys.
See ya.
Good night.
Right, he was going to tell me. He didn't tell me. I think we're tanking. Do you think this team is tanking?
No, I don't think.
Everybody thinks we're tanking for Arch Manning, which, by the way, everything I've seen from Arch, I think he's overrated.
Pete, I'm going to have to double deuces for a little bit, buddy. I'm really sorry. I'll explain a little bit later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me on. Peter, I will talk to you later.
See you, buddy. All right. So that happens. We'll go out to Sun Double Dave here in just a moment. And we'll read these comments. I promise I won't neglect you guys. And then we'll wrap it up for the night. We'll get more. Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. All right, Sun Devil, what's going on, man?
Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever.
There you go.
Hey, real quick, I know you want to get into Bucs talk. Let me explain the whole situation with this WBC.
Please do it.
Mark DeRosa is the manager who was a former Cubs second baseman. He has no managerial experience. So here's what happened last night. Before the pregame between Italy and USA, he basically was talking to one of the announcers, and he goes, yeah, we're going to go out and play. We want to win, but we already punched our ticket to the knockout round. but that was an error because technically they weren't in the knockout round yet. So he basically just played the game as kind of a nonsense game. They were down 8-0 in that game.
Right.
And all of a sudden, in the 7th inning, someone tells DeRosa, "Hey man, we're not in a knockout round yet. We have to win this game, or we're gonna have to rely on like Italy and Mexico to do this run aggregate nonsense tomorrow." So he scrambles, and all of a sudden USA scores like 6 runs, and they fall short of the rally. I think PCA from the Cubs hit a 2-2 run homer, and they almost won. It was 8-6.
Okay.
So then we find out basically that Italy has to win, or if Italy loses, if Mexico wins by at least 4 runs, then USA's in. But listen, Mexico won today like 3-1. The USA would be out of the WBC.
Wow.
And then they also mentioned DeRosa, like they said, oh yeah, you know, all these guys can drink. They went out and partied all last night.
Oh.
Yeah, they were coming in drunk and hungover.
Oh, there you
the
go.
The whole thing is a mess. I mean,
Party like a rock star. There you
it
go.
Sounds like a wild reality show, but this is real. So I'm hoping they get rid of DeRosa. But they're in the knockout round. We'll see what happens now. It's crazy. Goodbye to Bobby Hurley. He was officially let go. Arizona State got blown up by 45 points by Iowa State in the 2nd round of the Big 12 tournament.
Wow.
Going to see SmackDown this Friday here in the beautiful Valley of the Sun. They're going to have SmackDown here this Friday night. So I'm going to go with my friend Monica.
Well, there you go.
Kind of fun.
That's good.
One thing I want to bring about, I know that the Bucs still run 4-3, right? I mean, they're running
3-4.
Or 3-4.
Yeah, turn your radio down
I
or turn
get
something
mixed up.
down. I'm getting an echo in the back there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You just got to talk to
better?
me. Yeah, that's, well, no, it's not.
Okay, let me try what now? Is this a little better?
Can you hear me? No, I could still hear an echo. Just talk to me in the phone, dude.
Okay. So basically, what I was looking at is, what about that kid from the Falcons, Arnold Ibagati? I know he's a linebacker, but the reason he wouldn't get a lot of plays because the Falcons went and got 2 first-round picks on edge rushers, right?
Right. They may be getting him back there because James Pierce Jr. looks like he's not going to play a game again in the National Football League with some of the stuff that's coming out about him and his WNBA girlfriend and how he's trying to beat her and abuse her and all this other stuff. Crazy.
So he's not going to go anywhere.
Nonsense.
I just wanted to get your feelings about him. If he would be a good, he's 27. He didn't get a lot of snaps, but he's, he had, I think, 6 sacks, I think, a couple of years ago. He needs a playing time. Maybe it'd be a good fit. I mean, if he would be a good fit in our scheme. I just want to get your opinion on him. But you think he's not going to come? He's not going to come here anyways.
I mean, he's a cheap option. He hasn't done a lot in the league. That's not somebody I would, think that is on their top of the list. But maybe they like him. Maybe again, it's a cheap option. Maybe he'll fit this defense. That's certainly a possibility because he's been thrown in there.
What about picking up Juwan Jennings from the Niners, since now he'll probably be expendable since Evans is over there?
Well, Brandon Ayuk is going to get cut too, and that echo is killing me, bro. I don't know what that.
I'll let you go, but great job.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the week. Goodbye forever, and thank you for wasting my time.
All right, there you go. Good stuff there. Let's see. What is Mr. That's very good. Very good. Somebody sent me something when somebody talks nonsense. That was good, Alex. I like that. I didn't mean to call you out, but I saw the text message. That was funny. All right. We'll continue to read comments here. Remember, Facebook stars are open, YouTube super chats. Go out to TikTok really quick. New messages there. 17 people watching over there. Let's see what they're writing right now. Let me see what we got. Lots of people watching, but I don't see any comments yet. Let's see here. 9 new messages. Let's see. Go off, man, says Rich Boy. And Jeremy, the coaching and the draft haven't helped either. Let's go out to Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, man. What's going on?
Hey, man. What's going on?
Get us
an edge rusher?
We need to get an edge rusher, man.
That's all. That's all we need at this point. You need chicken wings, and the Bucs need an edge rusher, right?
Yeah, man. Until that chump Harry.
Yeah, he's a chump. That's right. You absolutely, and he's a bum. A bum. And
man.
Yes.
Shut up! I'm gonna walk up on you when you least expect it, Harry.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we need an edge rusher, man. But though, for that other guy that's talking about they trying to sabotage Todd, man, they're not trying to sabotage Todd. But if
Are they
Max
tanking?
Crosby
Do you think they're tanking at this point?
But if Max Crosby's still out there, man, and I'll see what we can see what they want for him,
Right.
even though that the Ravens backed out,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go get it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, man. I would.
All right.
I will go get Max. You know, but I like that move that they did with Detroit though for that middle linebacker. And if Levante Davis do come back, at least he will have a little help out there.
Well, we'll see. The
But
decision
we
needs to be
need,
made.
We're gonna need corners though.
Well,
we need some corners.
you do. Well, I don't necessarily know if you need corners, but there's certainly a possibility that Jason Light could draft that in, the middle rounds there if you want to. I think you need edge rushers, you need inside linebackers. That could definitely be addressed.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, man. And hey, number 13, you will always be a buck in my eyes, man.
All right, my friend.
Yeah, man. Number love though, man. You guys will keep up the good work.
Appreciate you. Good stuff there, Mr. Williams. Appreciate the call. Use the second one. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. So thanks a lot for tuning in on TikTok, Instagram Live, right out there. We'll continue to read comments, get some more stories here as the Bucs once again signed or tendered a contract to Sean Tucker as they let him go out, but had a change of heart. So 1-year contract for him. They signed a new backup quarterback today, Jake Browning, who was with the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know what you guys think about that one, but the question of the night, how disappointed are you with the start of free agency, especially with the Bucs and what they've done at the edge rusher position? Let's go out to the bodyguard of the Berg, Mr. Ralph Williams. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Peter, for having me on. How are you today?
I'm a little bit fired up. Started off the show a little bit fired up, my friend. Yes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I have a question for you. Steelers signed Jamal Dean. What's up with him? Is he a good player? I don't know much about him.
Well, I can tell you, I always say he's wildly inconsistent, right? Because the guy on the field and off the field, and he can't stay on the field. That's the reason why he took the restructure in the first place. He had his best year last year. 3 career interceptions, made some plays, of course, took a restructure before the season started. So the writing was on the wall, but athletic, long, can be physical, can tackle, but he will get beat. He will fall down at times. We've seen it happen here in Tampa. And once again, he did it against Ted McMillan last year in Carolina. You see him the guy ran right past him. Again, he's got all the potential and the tools to, have a year like that, but there's times where he loses guys in coverage. He has bad technique. He doesn't always intercept the ball. And then on top of it, I think he's missed like 21 games over the last couple of years. So I understand why the Steelers signed him in the first place. He had a good year, but you're signing him off for 1 year and you're signing him off potential. And once again, the writing was on the wall for the Bucs to move on from him because they re-signed their own players here in Zion McCollum, drafted a Benjamin Morrison, and of course a Jacob Parrish.
Yeah, and you guys got Kenneth Gainwell down there too.
We do. We like that. We like that pick. What about Gainwell? What do you know about him? Because he's a Steeler MVP, a highly productive player for them. Over 1,000 all-purpose yards from scrimmage, which is fantastic. Can catch the ball, pass protect. Also can play special teams as a kick returner and punt returner. What can you tell me about Gainwell?
Well, Gainwell's everything you just said. He was real good with the Steelers, complimented Jalen Warren real well, and he was great at catching the screen pass and taking it down for yards. Problem is at times he has fumbleitis, but he wasn't bad all year long, and I thought the Steelers should have re-signed him immediately, but we got Rico Dotto instead from Carolina. So
yeah, I like that move. I like that move for you guys too. He's definitely explosive running back. Had a lot to prove. Wanted to prove that in Carolina. Now he'll get the opportunity with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's your quarterback situation there, and what did you think about the hiring of your coach there? Did you like the move? Because I just think it's I'm surprised that they didn't hire a young coach, especially letting Tomlin go. I know he resigned or you retired, whatever. I know they let him go. What did you think about the transition to go with Mike McCarthy?
Well, I wanted Mike McCarthy or Brian Flores.
Okay.
All right. When Flores went to Minnesota, I was happy that they signed McCarthy because he's bringing in some really good coaches. He has a tree. He has a Rolodex full of coaches that he can bring in, not yes men like Mike Tomlin had. Okay. These guys can coach. Mike McCarthy's here for 5 years. If we win one Super Bowl and go to a championship game or playoffs, that's a bonus. And then he can bring in a younger coach under his tree, groom them, and then that way the Steelers have their young guy and they don't have to worry about hiring somebody.
Makes lots of sense,
That's
my
the
friend.
plan.
Yeah, that should definitely be the plan, and we'll see if Aaron Rodgers comes back because I don't know if they have a quarterback there. I think they like
No,
Will
they
Howard,
don't.
but
They don't.
that
But I tell you what, though, the Steelers blew it on quarterback, and it's just sad. Kenny Pickett's with his fourth team now. He's with Carolina.
yes,
So,
he signed with the
you know.
Carolina Panthers, so there you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
and
bodyguard.
It's really bad.
All right, what else, buddy?
Not too much, man. I just called. It's been a while since I called you, and I just wanted to check back to Maldine. What's going on with Kalita Cansey, my pit man, and Savasier Dennis? What's going on with them?
Well, Savasier was not good, especially when it comes to coverage, especially when it comes to running backs. Wasn't able to make sure tackles, so he's definitely getting competition this year. He has an opportunity if he cleans up things, as Todd Bowles said, to be the starter, but I doubt it. They brought on Alex Anzalone, the linebacker from Detroit, 31-year-old guy that can stick and tackle and make plays, especially when it comes to coverage. And then Kalita Cansey, he's just got to stay healthy. He hasn't been able to stay healthy the first 2 years, and I remind Bucs fans of this. Gerald McCoy, when he got drafted, he wasn't able to stay healthy his first 2 years. So hopefully this is the year where he's able to stay healthy, because this defensive line is different. The pressure is different. And I think, again, this is what the Bucs are banking on. But you got to be careful with that, because Cansey, once again, has not been able to show that consistently he can stay on the field. And what do we always say here? Best availability or best ability is availability, and he hasn't been available the last 2 years. So that's the case with both of those, especially Cansey.
Yeah, well, I always say this here, Peter. You can't help the club if you're in the tub.
That's it. There you go, Ralph.
So, I mean, and like you said, availability, and, it's just he's had some injuries, and he didn't live up to that number one pick. And, if he's done after his rookie contract, I don't blame him.
Well, they have a decision to make if they're going to pick up his fifth-year option, and I definitely think, it plays a big-time part in what they're going to do going forward with him. But I know he's got lots of potential, and again, the line is different, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So, Ralph, appreciate the call as always, my friend. All right, use the second one.
Anytime, Peter. Have a great one.
All right, good stuff. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's go out. Is this my buddy here, Broadway?
Yes.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. I haven't heard from you in a while. You okay? Yeah, I can't really hear you, my friend.
I've been really busy with life, but I've been watching, and I wanted to give my input on the whole Mike situation.
Mike Evans, go ahead, my friend.
As you know, he's one of my favorite players, and I love him, but I also think that we can move on and be a good team. I don't think us losing Mike is going to be as detrimental as people are saying.
Well, it remains to be seen. Again, they played the majority of the year without him. They're 4-8 when they don't have him. But, of course, you got the emergence of Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin. Hopefully he can get back healthy, because when he's healthy, he's a different receiver. He's one of the top receivers in the league. And then furthermore, you got another emerging superstar there, I believe, in Jalen McMillan, who, when he came back, he had flashes of brilliance there. So you got three top receivers. And then Tez Johnson, who nobody talks about, was a surprise and a shocker, being a seventh-round pick, as productive as he was. So you've got, four quality wide receivers there. They still may address that in the draft. I don't know if they're going to. Maybe they add to it. But we'll see. We'll see. But at this point, Mike Evans not being a part of this team was a shell shock. I'm shocked by it. I thought he was going to re-sign. I definitely think it hurts the locker room.
I'm hurt because I cried
pretty much the whole day.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I really am.
But
all right, what
it
else?
was tough. I think we need to go after Max Crosby.
Well, I hope they hear your words. I hope everybody around the Tampa Bay area just will, put together this campaign to go for Max Crosby at this point.
I don't like the other option. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't think they're the options that are going to turn this team around, and this team definitely needs a turnaround, and they need a player that's going to come in here and make plays and, help the defense out, make the defensive line better, make those players that we talked about with Kalijah Kancey and Vita Vea, and of course, a Yaya Diaby, that veteran presence that Crosby has can definitely go a long way. Brightside Broadway, yes, go ahead.
And I really think that what you've been saying is correct, Peter. I don't think it's Todd Bowles at all. I think he's got other factors that he's had to deal with. And I don't think it's Todd Bowles that Mike Evans left. I think it was other factors.
Well, again, he's telling you the 49ers are better. They're more equipped. They were a 12-win team. The Bucs were 8. They have better personnel at this point. Are they better coached? I mean, Kyle Shanahan, I definitely think he's an offensive-minded coach that he feels like can, scheme him up and get him open, and he'll have that opportunity to get those targets. And we know Mike Evans is a historian of the game, and he wants to get those targets and those yards so he can join the top 10 greats there in the wide receiver category. So if somebody says, well, he's not in that category, now they can't say that. You leave no doubt with him being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Brightside Broadway, appreciate the call as always, my friend. All right.
Thank you. And I'm still watching if I'm not interacting.
I know.
I love the content.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Bucs latest, by the way, on the Fan Arts Network. Don't know if you subscribe to that.
I do.
Thank you.
Bucs, go Sports Web. It goes Bucs latest.
Love it, man. Appreciate you as always. He said, "Go Bucs, go Bucs, go Bucs."
Wait up, no, boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, Todd.
Fire the cannon.
Oh, yes.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Oh, how about that, Byron? Good stuff up the phone line. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Izzy47 says, Peter Blake, we need to draft up, get one of those top 3 defensive ends. Absolutely. If you're not going to be aggressive, be aggressive. Again, sounding like a cheerleader when I first started out the show. And I feel like I am like that sometimes, but I had to tell it like it is tonight, how I was feeling. If you're not going to be aggressive in free agency, then you definitely got to be aggressive in the draft. So you're absolutely right. Scott Broadway, again, I love the Bucs, and Mike is one of my favorite players. I hate to see him go. I don't think we are done because Mike is leaving like everybody is saying. I don't think it's Todd's fault. I think Mike left either, like everybody is saying either. Thank you, Broadway, for tuning in there on TikTok Live. Anybody on Instagram Live? Nobody. We haven't been able to get on Twitter, so shame on StreamYard tonight for not being able. Oh, look at that. We're finally live. Thanks a lot for joining the human revolution here. We're on X, Twitter, or whatever the hell they call it. Probably didn't put me on there because, I didn't say it right. So we're live there on Twitter. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm sorry you couldn't join us earlier on for the rant, but the rant's out there. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. YouTube Super Chats are open. If you like the content, give to the content. Facebook stars are out there. Be my friend, Peter H. Blake. I promise I won't bite. Also on Instagram Live, I believe it's P Blake 1003. TikTok is out there. Twitter, X, whatever the hell they call it. Peter Blake at the Sports Web, some nonsense like that. It's out there. Find me. Friend me. Bug me. Brent, I like you still. I love you still, brother. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Again, when I get a chance to put this out there, this is my new baby right here. Fan Arts Network. Every day, Bucs fans. And listen, you bitched and moaned that I don't do enough of Sports Web here. So I give you a Bucs show every day, 5 days a week for 10 to 15 minutes. Yours truly. Some people call me Salt and Pepper Peter. Or the Silver Fox, the Rolex Reporter. Every day, 5 days a week at 11 a.m., Bucs latest Put it down there. Like and subscribe. We're nearly at 400 subscribers at this point on the Fan Arts Network. After this show, I'm going to get there, record, give you your stories of the day. You can comment. You can't call me. People are trying to call me at 11 a.m. I was so blown away yesterday because I had another terrible day at work. I was driving the Go Bucs red Tesla around doing some Uber, trying to make some money, trying to remember who I am because, sometimes you get into that sales rut where you forget who you are. You feel like, like Mickey. A bum. Yes, I felt like a bum. And sure enough, I meet a guy by the name of Tim Smith who says, I know who you are. And I said, what? He said, who the Bucs are going to sign, Pete? Huh? And you know what? He subscribed to Bucs Latest. He had it right on his cell phone. I was helping him with his groceries there. I think it was at the Family Dollar out there in Bruce B. Downs, all the way out there in Tampa, driving around the Tampa Bay area. It's always surreal to me. Yeah, I like to say it's surreal, as my buddy TJ Reeves would say with his great stories. Surreal when somebody notices you or recognizes you and they start talking Bucs football with you while you're driving. That's crazy to me. So Bucs Latest on the Fan Arts Network. I love that. I love that. It still freaks me out though. And I look at the guy's cell phone. He's, I know who you are. And I'm like, show me your phone right now because I got this thing right here. It's a dot, and you scan your phone on it. At first, I didn't know how to do it, but you just go to the camera and scan it, and it gives all your information. And when I'm about to scan it, I see the Bucs Latest show right on his phone. Like he's getting ready to watch it. He's saying, I have to watch your show every day. And I'm like, boom, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Boom, baby. So Bucs Latest on the Fan Arts Network. Get a chance to make fun of me too if you want to. As Brent has found out. Brent, a webhead now, a new webhead there on YouTube. Got to love that. And then also on Bucs Latest. As he continues to say comments like, Baker's not the quarterback. The Bucs are not a Super Bowl. You got to come up with some new comments here, Brent. But I'd love your participation. I do. All right. So enough of all that. Let's go ahead, continue to read comments now. Now you're seeing what we've been saying. Clueless GM, clueless head coach, clueless owners. Listen, it's tough. It's tough right now for me. What about the corner? Terrible. I think I read that one. Taking lessons from the Rays, says Tim. We came in second place for that guy. Yeah. Roger, do you think Todd Bowles and Jason Light should be fired after the upcoming season? I mean, it depends on what they do on the field at this point. But for me, it's not fair to Todd Bowles if you're not giving him the weapons. And then on top of it, if the Glazers are limiting Jason Light, that's not fair to him. Unless, again, you're just going in this season thinking it's a rebuilding and there's no urgency. All you want to do is win the NFC South and you're not really Super Bowl contenders at this point. Then, yeah, I guess you bring him back. It's going to be hard. This fan base right now wants Todd Bowles fired. And I wasn't one of those people. And, looking at what they've done in free agency, it's tough for me to say this guy should be fired when he's, again, not being given the weapons or given the tools to be successful when it comes to his defense. Peter, that's why I said this is not a Super Bowl team, brother. All right. Alex, because the bum-ass GM you all believe in relies on the effing draft. Too many failures in the draft. Again, he's had his fair share of hits. Let's not act like, Jason Light hasn't been able to draft. I'm just saying if you're solely depending on young pass rushers to make that transition over to the National Football League and be successful and be double-digit sackers, which the Bucs haven't had in a while since Leroy Selman. I said Leroy Selman. Love Leroy, but how long ago was that? 76? They drafted an edge rusher, so they haven't been able to get an edge rusher. It's like a quarterback. You haven't been able to develop a quarterback. Same thing with an edge rusher. So if you're looking to just depend on that, it doesn't always work out. Again, 6 rookie pass rushers have had double-digit sacks in the last 10 years. 6 out of 10. Curtis, welcome to the Evolution.
Pete.
Yes.
I just got to say this.
Say it.
So for these people that are
talking about Jason Light and Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
None of us know what the hell it's like to be a GM or head coach.
I know, man. I don't envy the guy's job. I just
you couldn't even understand the pressure of being a GM or head coach.
Of course.
Peter, some people couldn't understand the pressure your job is of being a fucking salesman. Excuse my French.
That's all right. I like French on this show sometimes.
It's like, who the hell are you to you can't do any job if you don't have the tools.
You can't do the job of doing sales by using rebuttals.
Could you drive for Uber if your Tesla wasn't charged?
I could not. No, that's not a good thing to do, by the way. That costs you $170 through Tesla. It costs you $170 to do that, which is a stupid thing that I did around Christmas because I was trying to get mom a laptop. Don't ever do that. Don't ever drive on zero. If you drive on zero, drive like 4 miles and then get to a charging station as soon as possible because it costs you $170. You're stuck out there in the middle of nowhere in Timbuktu. You're waiting for 3.5 hours for a tow truck to realize who you are. Then you have to finally get it charged. And then you have to pay $170. And it takes 5 minutes to replace that little battery in there. $170, 5 minutes, it's replaced. I'll never do it again.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's just like, listen, and, for the Bucs fans out there, for you real Bucs fans out there, you've seen what Todd Bowles can do in the defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Even when he was the Jets coach, when he had a good defense, he had a decent team.
Yeah.
But whenever he doesn't have think about this. This is what people aren't looking at. How many times did we have to blitz last year and we still didn't get to the quarterback?
There's too many times you had to blitz. that's what you want to avoid. You want to get back to being able to rush from 4.
And we were getting shredded by what's the Saints' new quarterback?
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah. And the kid that plays for Miami.
Yeah. Quinn Ewers. Love that guy.
Yeah. We're getting shredded by guys because we're blitzing and we can't even get home.
Right.
We can't even get home.
Right.
But when you had a decent pass rush with APP and Shaq and Sue and all these, the other thing is not only did we have the players, but we had health.
Yes.
When is the last team this team was healthy?
The Super Bowl year, they were fortunate to be healthy that year, and they had enough depth to cover it up.
And we were decently healthy the following year, but we were beat up that year as well.
Well, that year you lose Godwin, you lose Tristan Wirfs, and you lose that lunatic Antonio Brown, which I got to use it again. That lunatic Antonio Brown. He is a lunatic. If you don't lose Godwin and Wirfs, you probably win your second Super Bowl in a row. I bet that.
Absolutely. But you guys are sitting out here and, again, you can only use the tools that you have. And if you work for McDonald's and, you sold chicken nuggets and hamburgers all day, but you didn't have hamburgers to sell, what the hell would you do?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, seriously, I understand we are frustrated. I'm frustrated. Peter's frustrated. We want to see something better for this team,
right?
But that's also not up to us. We don't control the narrative. And guess what? Bowles and Jason Light, they don't control shit either. They have to listen to the Glazers.
That's it.
And if the Glazers don't sign off on it, nothing's going to happen.
Well, hopefully they sign off on something, because if not, you're depending on a rookie, and then you're getting a player like Joey Bosa is not bad, but I don't think he's the answer. So
listen, if we get Bosa and Bosa gives you 8 sacks, I'd probably be happy with that.
I think a lot of people would be happy with that. He's the same player, but he gets 8 sacks from him. You'd be happy with that.
Because, well, not only that, but the pressure alone from that, with Kalijah being healthy, and Yaya coming off the other side, you'll have a decent pass rush.
True. Absolutely.
So, but now my other question for you is, out of the top 3 pass rushers, who would you want the most?
I like Bing Jr. I like David
You like-
Bailey, even though he's kind of it seems like he's got a little bit of a character issue. So I don't know if Jason Light would stick with him or not. So we'll have to check him out from Indiana. You got the kid Arvell Reed. I love Sonny Styles. I don't necessarily think he's an edge rusher, but I think he's a chess piece to where you can move him all around the place. Not only as your inside linebacker, you can use him as Devin White, maybe use him on the edge. You get real creative, being a safety, being instinctive, being able to cause turnovers. I like that aspect of Styles.
I mean, he's a listen, the one thing I like about Sonny is you can tell he's a football player.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's an all-around football player.
He's an athlete. Him and his brother are both athletes at this point, and of course their dad played, so they'll be prepared for what the big game is.
What was it? Wasn't it Khalil Mack when he came into the league? He was all pro at 2 positions.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I agree with you 100%. If you're gonna go out there and you telling us that you want to win, go spend the damn money.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what's going to happen 2-3 years down the road. You know, you always figure out how to move money around to do what's best for the team.
I agree.
But this right here is probably some of the worst. Oh God, I'm gonna use this. This is gonna be the word for the night. This is some of the worst buccaneering that I've seen in a long time, and I don't want to deal with another dirt cutter or Rocky Moore's years or any of that crap. Like, I don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, some Bucs fans don't know what we're talking about, but you definitely need to again watch that documentary, Raise the Flags, because
listen, me and my fiance watched it, and just watch the stuff that they put Doug Williams through. It made me sick to my stomach.
It did. I think I may watch it again. I think I may watch that again. All right, my friend. I appreciate you as always, Curtis, using your second call.
All right, bro. Be easy.
Listen, we'll see you this weekend. We're going out to the expo. We haven't really gotten a chance to promote it, but we're supposed to have Booger McFarland, Rondé Barber, Keenan McCardell, Ken Dilger. So we'll be out there live at the Florida State Fairgrounds on Saturday and also most likely Sunday here on the Sports Web. So we got the internet. We got that working. We got guests. So definitely tune in to that all across these great platforms that we're on, as always. So good stuff there. Very frustrating, says Carl. Agree. Chris Cole. Blazers won't let Light spend any big money. Oscar says, hey, Peter, hope you're having a great day. I am now, my friend. What are we waiting for? Get Crosby already. TF. And Baker Mayfield has to go with Todd Bowles, brother. I know you don't like it, but it's the truth. I'm not ready, again, to give up on Baker Mayfield. Jason Light and Todd Bowles are on the clock. Dave, cheap Bucs are back. Feels like the 2000s again. Slowly going back to the yucks. Hopefully not. King Cook. Brent, facts. King Cook again. Even Chubb got signed by the Buffalo Bills. Bulls has had plenty of chances. Alex says he's had 4 effing years. King Cook, 1485. Eagles lose Phillips and gain Woolen. Now they don't care about the picks. They get the players, man. Absolutely. Dave, why keep Bulls if you're not going to upgrade the players? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Alex says, how many chances does he need? Justin Parks, 3744 there on YouTube. Come on, what are we doing? Pick a lane already. Either go for the Super Bowl or start the rebuild already. None of this between crap. I agree with you on that. Not one damn edge rusher. They're making their statement, sadly. Let's go out to Gareth Paul Tope. 6-game win next season. I think it's time to clean house. GM and head coach Ben Cornett. Easy to blame line here, but I believe he's been given his orders from the very top not to make any big money moves. Alex should have fired the moment he lost 8 games straight after starting 6-2. Levante would be smart just to call it a career at this point with the lack of motivation to improve this team. Alex says the moment you lost 8 games straight, Glacier should have cleaned house. Brent says, I'm not mad about it, Peter. A tank is coming, and I just accepted. I hate tanking. I think tanking is for losers. King Cook, I could tell something that was going to happen when Bowles and Light stepped to the podium at the Combine. Alex says, what's sad is the fans aren't even mad at Mike. They're not. Spaz out 6. Panthers signed 2 superstars in one day. What have we done in 3? Not much. Keep telling Bucs Nation, Bowles and Light will get another for excuse of the rebuild. Panthers are stacked while we're just sitting back. Brent says, Peter, that's what the Bucs have been doing since Baker Mayfield came. Todd Bowles became the head coach. Tristan, how do we lose Mike and somehow get older as a team? My only answer to that question nobody asked is I can only assume that Like knows something about the draft that we don't. Yeah, maybe he does. I think the Glazers are selling no stadium talks when you with the contract. The Ray J ends after the season. Brent says it's time to get rid of Bruce Arians. I'm sick of him. Who's ever available in free agency at this point that's worth getting? Joey Bosa. They can make a trade for Jonathan Grenard from the Minnesota Vikings. Fire Bowles. Jay Kahn. We're talking about a team that wasted last season the greatest quarterback of all time. Nothing surprises me anymore. Tony Lee, 1001. Get the freaking likes up. This guy is cooking. Thank you very much, Tony Lee. Appreciate you. The only thing now to do is make a huge draft trade, get Styles, but we know that's not happening. Certainly seems like they're not making any moves at this point that, for the needs. I know they signed a defensive tackle today and a backup quarterback in Jake Browning, which Bucs fans, what do you think of that? Now he's the new backup. Teddy Bridgewater signed with the Detroit Lions. By the way, Harry the Greek owes me lunch because I told him that somebody would sign him, and they did. There you go, the Lions. He goes back to the Lions there. Sean Tucker has been tendered a contract, 1-year deal for him. We talked about Anzalone, Gainwell, done some good things. Just the main thing you got to do is you got to go after a proven pass rusher. Will they be able to do that in the next couple days and change my mind? Maybe make a trade for Max Crosby? I don't know. I wish I knew. I wouldn't have went on this rant tonight like I did, but it was coming all day long. It was building up. I was telling people, I've been nice. I've been eternally optimistic when it comes to this team. I'm still optimistic when it comes to this team. But you got to tell it like it is sometimes. I learned from a guy by the name of Steve Dumick, one of my inspirations. Not only the great TJ Reed's the media icon, but Steve Dumick, JP Peterson. But Dumick was always like, tell it like it is. Tell it like it is. Howard Cosell, same way. Tell it like it is. If you don't tell like it is, you look like a cheerleader. I'm not a cheerleader. I've been doing this for a long time. I think I've gotten a lot better throughout the years. I've always tried to tell you the truth. I've always tried to tell you how it is, how I feel about it, how it seems to me. I've been wrong about some things. I've also been right about some things, and that's the reason why you watch this show in the first place. But yeah, they're not mad. Roger Shue says, hit the like, webheads. Absolutely, King Cook. Facts, hit the button, folks. Peter is bringing the passion. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Oh, but I thought Jason Light was a great GM. I think he's a great GM. I think he's made moves. He's also had his fair share of faults, which I've said, to be fair, the edge rusher is still one of the Achilles heels of this team. Rant Peter, laugh out loud. We can build the team better than Jason Light, Peter. Jay, Mike Evans could kick a puppy and I wouldn't be mad. Brent, Peter, you're my guy, brother. You're my guy too, man. Mad. Yes, Peter is hot. Yes. King Cook, 1485. Not one damn edge rusher. Not one. We lose Big Mike, Trey, and Max. Damn, what a plan. For real, bro. Peter, calm down, brother. Spaz out 6. Baker on the offense do not deserve to lose like this. That's what I'm throwing it out there. You did it for Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield is worth that. I know he's not Tom Brady, but he's put up some good numbers these last couple years. Get Gainwell. Hopefully the offensive line can stay healthy. Re-sign Otten. Get rid of, Mike Evans decides to leave. You still have 4 talented receivers still can add to that room. Yeah, have also Cameron Johnson. We don't talk about Cam Johnson. He's still in that room. You could always add to it. But, this team needs a defense. You put up 28 points. You should win that game versus the Atlanta Falcons. You win that game versus the Atlanta Falcons. We're probably not having this conversation right now about Mike Evans leaving. Who knows? 3rd and 28, 4th and 14. Maybe that was maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. By the way, happy hump day.
Hump day.
So I think he deserves it. I think Todd Bowles deserves a chance too. You're not getting him the weapons. You're not getting him the pieces. Baker is part of the reason why the Bucs are losing. I don't disagree with you on that. Wow, let's go out to this guy. He's watched me for a long time. Justin Parks, welcome to the Evolution, Webhead. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. I don't think you've ever called this show before, but I appreciate the call. What's on your mind tonight, boss?
Man, yeah, first time calling.
First time caller. There you go.
Man, one thing I really want to point out is the length on me, like 1 2 years. Are you thinking that Light might be having trouble to come here?
Well, you're kind of going in and out here, but I'm trying to hear what you're saying. But the length of contracts at this point are, yeah, they're a little bit alarming because you got 1 and 2 year contracts, so they're not going to be here that much, and they're not for a lot of money at this point. So again, this is a big year for them. These players got to be productive, and some of these players, again, if they're not going to be here. You cut your losses, but it's kind of concerning. I mean, and then you hear about, being in on Trey Hendrickson and wanting to give him a short contract. And of course, Hendrickson, he wants his, security. He wants that $28 million a year in the 4-year contract, and Light and the Bucs are not able to meet those demands. And that's the reason why you lose out to the Ravens. So yeah, a little bit concerning at this point. And Booger McFarland, who we should have on this show here in a couple days, hopefully at the Florida State Expo there at the card show at the Florida State Fairgrounds. I'm going to talk to him about that and ask him if he still thinks that Jason Light is on the hot seat at this point. But the pressure is on. For all the pressure being on and for the lack of urgency, again, you would think this coach and this general manager, they're safe with their jobs, and this is how they're approaching. And I thought there would be more urgency at this point, Justin, right?
Yeah. And so,
yeah.
The feedback in the background, actually driving right now.
Well, man, I appreciate you as always. Anything else here? What else is on your mind?
And it's I kind of think he is on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I think there might be a budget out there, strengths on the cap, and everything, but still moving money around.
Yeah.
It's just, there's something going on in the back. Report earlier today, Reynolds kind of alluded to saying something. Blazers have been really quiet.
Yeah. Well, there may be something going on. All right, Justin, thanks a lot for the call, man. Don't be a stranger here on The Evolution. Always welcome to 2 calls. All right, my friend?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you. Long-time listener, man. That guy's been following me for a long time. I remember those guys. Baker's part of the reason. Yeah, a lot of fourth quarter interceptions, critical interceptions. He does. I know that. Brent, you were mentioning that. JCOM people still blaming Baker. Word, Peter, take a deep breath, brother. We're all riding with you, but we have our opinions about the team too. Come on now. I get it. Sun Devil Dave, looks like Team USA will get bailed out by Italy in the WBC. Make sure to tell De La Rosa that if we lose in the knockout round, you're out of the tourney. Shaking my head. Brent, Cook, I love it. Passion, brother. Spaz out 6. If we are throwing Baker on the bus, throw Cade in there too. He costed at least 3 picks. Agree. Mr. Williams, Tampa Bay for life. Thank you so much. 13. Brent, all good. I rock with you, man. You're in the chat rooms representing the Bucs. Appreciate you. But it's crazy. We're supposed to be happy just barely getting the playoffs, losing the playoffs the first round. Agree with that. Yeah, Kadon was a bad re-sign. These mother effers blaming Baker, but it was Mike slamming his helmet, yelling 3rd and 28 that led him ranked almost dead last in every category, but we blame Baker. Real Berg native, you can't have your starting quarterback going 16 for 22, 203 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception in the game you need to win. Agree. I think he was hurt more than anything else, but you're definitely right. The level of play has to improve. This man said, give Bowles a chance. Well, you got to give him a chance. I mean, you got to give him some weapons. Cook, I like Peter. He's a guy. He's my guy. He just hates to be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Our expectations are high now, Peter. We want more than just 8, 9, 9, and 8. Fair enough. These mother effers blaming Baker, but it was Mike yelling 3rd and 28 on the way out. What do you call the last 5 years? Brent says, Cook, we're supposed to be happy going 8, 9, 9, and 8, losing the first round. Baker throwing the pick. Dave, we have 1 mediocre edge rusher in Yaya, and I think he's peaked. Facts. Jay says, Bowles is not a bad coach, but he's not head coach material. I think that's clear. King Cook, Bucs are not showing the fans anything right now. This is just facts. No moves that make us better. Justin Park says first round pick in Barton. I don't know if they're going to trade Barton. Yes, I did say cut the shit. Yes. Holy Peter swore on air. I did. And also TikTok just like they just said some of it's restricted. Like I guess they heard a couple swear words, so they kind of restricted me there. So hopefully that didn't. Gotta stay away from the swearing. Even the host here. We are not even hearing about the players we're signing on major networks. I'm hearing about them through Bucs podcast. Damn, laugh out loud. Thank you, caller. King Cook, the fact that they came with a BS deal for Mike Trey shows what the Glazers, Light, and Bulls are thinking. Sadly, Jay Bosa is washed. Dave, really looks like we are trying to build a legacy team. It feels like we're going back to the days of trying to win 6 games again. Jay, it's a Bucs life. Real Berg native. Bulls has no final say on decisions made. He has a strong input, but Jason calls the shots. King Cook, they can say what they want. They didn't pony up enough money for Mike, and that was confirmed by the 2-year deal they offered. Trey, this man goes and signs a 4-year with the Ravens. Laugh out loud. King Cook, Trey will be immediate impact for that defense. Don't be surprised if they double back on Max. I don't think that's going to happen. Carolina making moves to improve, especially on defense, the way it looks right now. It's their division to lose. Bucs will be lucky to finish 3rd in the division now. Brent's, now I disagree with the fans getting rid of their season tickets behind one player. That's why I said some fans are too emotional about these players. Original Donda Rude Boy, light as a joke. Alex says Bucs dead last, calling it now. Well, hopefully you're wrong about that. You heard Trey signed with hopes that the Ravens get Max too, so don't be surprised. Carl, feels like a rebuild. I was thinking that as you said it. King Cook, Brent Fax, the new age Buccaneer fans, OG fans have been through the many times before. King Cook again. Mean Gene on the line. Yeah, Mean Gene.
Fire the cannon!
No, it's not that Mean Gene. Gene Thomas put him through a table. If it was a rebuild, why aren't they selling high on our players or picks? Tick 757. He sounds like Kermit the Frog. Laugh my ass off. Who sounds like Kermit? Oh my gosh. Did you say Gene Thomas sounds like Kermit the Frog? That's not nice. Mike Evans left because of Todd Bowles. David says, what is everybody worried about? Remember, we have a head coach who won a Super Bowl 5 years ago. We're all good. I hear the sarcasm in your voice, David. Appreciate you. Dave, got David and Dave. Let's just say the Bucs are just signing bodies to fill out a roster, just guys to fill position, just guys. Or Chubb. Yep, he's gone. Brent, it's not about one player. It's about where we are headed. You are still, even without Mike Evans, still in contention if you can fix that defense, but you're doing nothing. Brent, Peter Bowles has said in every interview last year he doesn't value outside pass rushers, so that's why I'm surprised what's going on. Jay says as a DC, not a head coach. Chubb is gone. That he is. King Cook, Bowles is not going to be able to coach whatever team constructed to 12 to 13 wins anyways. He's not Reed or Belichick. Steve, Evans knows we will never win a Super Bowl with Bowles. Tick. Let's see. Chubb went to Buffalo. That he did. Alex, you dumped Mike and saved all that money for what? King Cook. Chubb signed with Buffalo. Brent, yep. Baker threw a pick, lost against the Panthers. That would have gotten us to the playoffs. Real Berg native. To be fair, Todd, the Bucs went and got Baker, quarterback, cut by the Panthers. Now Baker struggles to beat the Panthers. Wow. King Cook, Alex Fax, in hopes that we land a bunch of premier playmaking rookies to elevate this defense to the postseason. Laugh out loud. Nah. Bills fire McDermott after the guy had it seem the playoffs every year, but they still fire him. But the Bucs keep Bowles. They just don't get it. Brent O'Neill, Alex, this might be the case for you, but the other people don't see it like you do. King Cook, 1485, and then they go sign this Browning backup like you worried about backup quarterback right now, light. Facts, they blame Mike for running the wrong route. Man, at this point, forget Mike Evans. He's a Buck for life. It's okay. He's gone. He will retire a Buck. Move on. King Cook, the irony, laugh out loud. Alex, light is lots of empty seats next year. Hopefully not. We'll see how that works out, but not always a good thing at this point. Let's see. Alex Dunster, Brent, all y'all do is blame Baker, which is funny, but it was a whole team collapse. You can get one effing win in 8 games. That's on your head coach, not the player. Brent, Cook, that's my point, bro. But for some reason, when Baker plays, they like to ignore it. Boy Wonder, KR, evening, Peter and crew. Let's hope we can get a pass rusher. We need them ASAP. A whole team collapse, including Baker. Jay Kahn, I think another thing to think about is Evans and Mayfield never really built any chemistry. Well, they had some chemistry there. Facts, it was all love when we went 6-2. Mystery MVP started coming up. Laugh out loud. After the bye, now it's team and Baker ain't the only one. Laugh out loud. Cornerbacks, David says, has anybody thought no matter how much money the Buccaneers throw at some of these free agents, they don't want to come to where the best player just left basically because he called the team a dumpster fire? Didn't call the team a dumpster fire. He just said the 49ers are more equipped at this point. He wants to take advantage of it. No, they won't be empty. They will be filled with opposing team fans. That's always hard to take. Alex Baker throwing late fourth quarter picks is a problem, rather you want to admit it or not. Jameis would have gotten blamed for all these losses. Just keep the same energy with Baker. Roberg native, Baker did go 16 for 22. 1 interception, 1 touchdown in a must-win against the Panthers. Alex, you're just pointing out 1 man, 1 play. It was team collapse in 8 games, 3rd and 28, 4th and 18. It's at 4th and 14, not 4th and 18. Cook, I have to be honest, bro. I was one that was saying he was leading the MVP race at the time. I don't say he would win it. Alex, team collapse. Team collapse again. Teresa Neptune. Great show tonight, Pete. Thank you, Miss Neptune. Great job today to you. Team collapse. Light needs to go. Brent, Alex, I hear you, bro, but 3rd and 28 doesn't happen if Baker didn't throw a pick and miss Payne Durham wide open in the middle of the field. Everything got exposed after the season with Yaya's comments, Rashad White's comments. It's been a snowball effect ever since. Dave, went to a thrift store with my kids today here in North Carolina, found a alarm clock Levante David jersey, bought it because I felt like the days we were going back to fitting. Boy, those are some ugly jerseys, were they not? 8 games, bro. Be mad at Bowles. He's a good DC, not a good head coach. Actually, be mad at the Glazers because they are in denial. Brent, Alex, to me, Baker Mayfield is Alex Smith, and the Chiefs moved on from him. They were winning 12 to 13 games a season. David says the Buccaneers signed defensive tackle Ashawn Robinson to a 1-year deal worth $10 million. I think that is true. That was the breaking news of the night from the Carolina Panthers. Let's go ahead and draft Falk and White while we're at it. Nobody will be able to run the ball on us. I think you're talking about Kendrick Falk from Auburn. Alex Bowles is also to blame, but Baker's quarterback. Now, again, we had Jameis. It was all his fault. Dave says, let's just bring back the alarm clock unis because these days feel like they're coming back. How about no?
How about no?
Come on, Dave. If we flunk and Baker leaves, keep the energy with our next quarterback. Brent, just keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. Alex, calling it now. Baker leaves if we flunk. When we don't make any moves, you're telling the players you don't think they can win a Super Bowl. That's why Mike left. Good point. Players don't want to come here because Bowles sucks. Stafford is about to retire. Don't think the Rams won't grab his ass. Alex, trust me, I won't even criticize Brady his last year, but BL became the scapegoat of Brady. Bad play once AB and Gronk left. R4G3 quitting. No, too much money going to McCollum and Winfield. Dave, Bucs have proven they can make the money work. That's not an excuse. The caller is on point. Jason Light was on the hot seat before Brady came. This Parrish, 21, right there, Mr. 21 Savage out there in California. I feel like coaches got to adjust to their players. Agree. Jason was only good because of Brady. Come on now. Realtor David Zuzman, Jason Light is just a mediocre GM. Dave says, what's up, Harry? Good to see you. Yes, Harry was here before. Very incompetent GM. Signing McCollum proved why Jason is a moron. Alex, what a waste of money. Y'all got to see the potential. Calm down. Jason is a moron. Signing McCollum to that huge extension proceeded. Why? Jose Ribes, beep, leave a message, Pete. Yes, that was also going on today.
Oh, yeah.
You damn weirdo. Let's support Peter Harry in the evolution of sports. Go Bucs. Fire Jason Light. Thank you for the YouTube super chat. Quick to switch up after Jason put together a super roster. I love what he did with the super roster. I don't think it was all Brady. Mike Evans left because Baker is overrated. Jason Light needs to go. Baker went 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions after the bye week, but fans just want to blame the defense. Dave says, here we go. Alex says, Mike Evans, because of 3rd and 28, say what you want. Didn't make out with 130 yards with Baker that last game. Alex again. By the way, y'all say Evans left because of Baker. Didn't Mike get over 130 yards that last game with Baker before the 3rd and 28? Realberg native. Zion was horrendous signing. Now you have Zion and Morrison as your top starters, so you do really need a pass rush. You also have Jacob Parrish, who could play nickel and also outside. Jason Light is a horrible managing contracts. Steve, signing mediocre players, WTF. Who cares about Logan Hall? Dude was a bust. We just lost a body, not a playmaker. Brent, Alex, I think you could be, but not him alone. I just don't understand why y'all get Baker so many passes. R4G3 quitting 101. I blocked Brent O'Neill. His opinion is so bad. Brent, let's recall the horrific injured offensive line for starters. Alex, again, 3rd and 28 doesn't happen if Baker doesn't throw the pick. Can you agree with that? Shall I continue? Realberg native. Yes, Mike, got the yards, but the touchdowns, 1-2-1 interception, and Baker staring down one receiver. Baker ended with 203 passing yards. Dave, at this point, maybe Tampa TB should just offer Atlanta a 7th-round pick for Pierce. Hope he doesn't go to jail. Looks like he's going to go to jail. JTS, yeah, JTS. Alex actually went back and watched those last 9 games of the season. Alex, again, the last pick was clear miscommunication. He was, you watch the tape, a defender blocked Mike and Baker's view. Dave, Yaya has peaked. He's just an okay player. Brent, Jason Light missed on the whole 2016-2021 draft class. Realtor David Zuzman, Light drafts bad on the 1st and 2nd round, then refuses to use free agency, improve the team. He's stubborn and incompetent. Realberg native, Baker was the 9th most sacked quarterback in the league last year, 36 times sacked. Bucs O-line ranked in the top 5 or 6 last year. Brent, how did the 49ers win 12 games and they had more injuries than us? Russ, draft speed, draft Kilgore. Michael Catone, laugh out loud. This team window max is 8 wins now, more like 3 and 14. Thank you, Catone. Appreciate you. Real Baker holds on to the ball too long because he can't see over the line. He also tries to make plays with running when there's no pressure in his face. I saw that a lot last year. I don't know what that is. Robert Mob top borders. Alex Nunzer, that wasn't the last game. Mike Agent said he wanted to play with an elite quarterback. Realtor David Zuzman, I agree with the caller. Jason Light is mediocre at best. Realberg native, Baker pocket presence is not the most elite. When he flustered even the clean pocket, Baker tends to take horrible sacks created by Baker. King Cook 1485. Light is now getting exposed, and I like it. Light keeps getting Brady credit, but Spy Tech put that play together, and the adventures that came with him. This is according to the doc. Brent, the team wasn't ready. They added 2 Hall of Famers and a Pro Bowl running back. King Cook, well, it was, come on, it was ready. You had the defense there. You had the offensive line there. You had the wide receivers there. Come on. Brady had 3 tutties in that Super Bowl. What? Thomas Ferguson, that defensive Super Bowl performance basically got Todd Bowles a head coaching job. Here we are. Let's go out to Stang Lastman. This guy has the worst takes ever. How stupid can one person be? Hope he's not talking about me, but thank you very much for tuning in. Brock Purdy is an elite quarterback, please. If so, Mike would be in Buffalo or KC. Brady was the GM, laugh out loud. David, here you're right. This is not the same defense as 2020. JPP said it. This is not the same defensive scheme that they ran in 1920 or 21. Where we have to draft a Mecca. What is homie talking about? Mike is a pro. He's not salty about that. Train Scram, not bad. Still need a big tackle in the draft. Edge, love Florida and Florida State tackles. Miami defensive end, yes. Out there. Mezzador could be one of those. Ruben Bain Jr. Before Brady came in, the Bucs roster was missing a quarterback. Jason built the roster. Also got BA to come to Tampa. Give the guy credit. Agree. I agree with the caller again. It's not on Bowles. It's on Jason Light. Ibuka is not even an X wide receiver. I will give Bowles credit on his defense. Don't give up on that many points. Realberg native. Brady had Donovan Smith at left tackle. Imagine while Baker had Luke and Wirfs top 10 tackles. Yes, the defense needs major help, but they have given the offense the ball back and they failed. Adam, Jason Light is ass. Hate that $30 million tight end deal. I wish we had Jacksonville linebacker. We did some dumb stuff. Brent says the Falcons done it. David Moser, Todd Bowles loves, no matter if Mike came out and said he left because of Todd, they will still make excuses of why it's Todd's fault. King Cook 1485. People keep saying Light has a great draft, but relying on rookies to get you in the postseason your first year is not a realistic expectation. That's desperation. Now we need Florida tackle in round 1, Miami edge, and second, just beef up the defensive line with studs. Realisher, David Zuzman. We did not improve. The players we lost were much better than the ones we signed. Jason Light can't draft any good rushers, then proceed to pay mid-ass players like McCollum and Cade Otton. Brent, Falcons have rookie pass rusher that got 10 sacks. That was one of them. All we heard out of Todd Bowles lovers last 2 years, excuses and arguments. Realburg native, did Jake Browning get benched last year for Joe Flacco? Very true. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Not a great year. Not a great year at all.
That's great enough to suck right there.
I was a Bulls supporter, but after the past season, I'm not. He should have been shown the door. The Bucs should have hired McDermott. Brent says, don't forget about the new quarterback. Jake Browning got benched last year for Joe Flacco. Alex was the caller. I just think Light hasn't done his job to match the coaching of Todd Bowles. Match the scheme. Realtor David Zuzman, you are absolutely right. Dave says, let's face it, we're going to have another full year of Bulls. The Glazers don't fire coaches during the season. Greg Cole, Jason's not a great GM. My ass, shut up. The appreciation for Jason Arians, who built this roster, brought Brady here, got us a championship, is so much BS. It's tiring listening to it. It's like a lack of appreciation for Gruden, who is main damn reason we won our first Super Bowl. These fans are something else. Don't know how you deal with it, Peter. I deal with it very carefully. Great comment there by Greg. If they call us Todd Bowles haters, we could call them Todd Bowles lovers. They're actually playing Tarzan pretty hard on his nuts. The guy must walk around in pain all day. Alex says this caller is already stupid. If they wanted him gone, they do now. Okay, caller is stupid. Come on, let's not call the caller stupid. If they wanted Bulls gone, they just do it now. Let's see. Draft 1, Miami. And also from Auburn to the caller. It's the only thing that makes me feel a little better is that I think we are tanking for next season. Dave, I got it. The Glazers watch Moneyball and are taking that approach. Realtor David Zuzman, it makes no sense. Why would they throw a whole season away just to fire Bulls? Really silly. Alex says, we just fire him now. Piss your fans off. Let's see here exactly. Richard Rayborn, go Blake. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Tulio, I think Light should just sign linebackers and DTs because they can't sign any DEs. David says, laugh out loud, fire Todd Bowles and make Buccaneers great again. Brent says, Arch ain't it. Dave, Arch Manning sucks, living off the last name. Why not the tight end from the Browns, David Njoku? It's not Bowles and Light, it's the Glazers. Dave says, somebody needs to make the 3rd and 28 shirts. I want one. Let's not. At this point, let's just sign Devin White back. Let him play edge. David says, yeah, we should sign White back. Remember, he won the Super Bowl 5 years ago with the Buccaneers. That's enough to get you a contract extension here in Tampa, but it didn't get a contract extension. 3rd and 28 with the pick of Mike slamming his helmet. Those tees would sell out. King Cook, no one cares about the owners. It all falls on the GM and the head coach. That's just how it goes. David says, I don't know how it could be me, but for the last 2 years, we sound like Jets fans when Todd was the coach up there. Ian Hart says, got to take our situation with a grain of salt. All depth sucks. We pay 6 people $20+ million. You don't go through a Super Bowl run without growing pains. An offseason like this was always coming. It just took 3 years from when we were actual contenders. Corey Green says, the AKA Spider-Man, the GOAT. Appreciate you, Eagles fan, right there. Nissan says, if you have a chance to talk to the offensive coordinator, we need questions about the usage of Culp this season. Thank you, Mr. Nissan Taylor there. I feel the reason why our secondary sucks is because we have too many days off and too many half-assed practices. Even Yaya Diaby said that. Is that a star? Is that stars? I think that's Facebook stars. Thank you, Corey. The Rams had a down year with the so-so roster. It's right. They have a good coach. Let's go out to King Cook. We turned down Harbaugh and his GM for Light and Bowles. King Cook, too much hoping and wishing I'm hearing about our team. King Cook, again, you notice how everything dealing with the Buccaneers right now is negative. Players leaving, free agents turning down every deal we make this it speaks volumes. I like Tez Johnson. Ian says, another take on the edge situation. If we don't come up with a plan, it could be a part of where they're really high on David Walker. He seems to be a forgotten man. Could be a Elvis Dumerville type of guy for us. Absolutely. You hear that. Do you just depend on that? He's coming off an injury at this point. We've heard it. We haven't signed Max yet. They're going to go to the draft, but that's no guarantee either. I've already said that. Peter's rant tonight was awesome. Laugh out loud. We all frustrated one way or another as Bucs fans. I'm glad you guys liked it. I tune in every day at 11. Thank you very much, King Cook. Appreciate that. Hopefully tomorrow's video is we sign Max Crosby. I would hope it was, but it's probably not going to be. Hopefully Light can have a stellar draft this year. Needs to make better picks, especially in the first round. Keep up the good work, Peter B. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
We got the dub.
We got the dub, baby.
We did get the dub.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Yeah, you got the dub.
Fire the cannon.
There we go. Right there. Starting to feel better when I hear that. Thank you, Dustin. Appreciate you. Peter is right. We cannot expect Bowles to succeed when we don't improve our defensive roster. O'Brien, Norman, that's not good enough. King Cook, we have to stop living in the past. You have to evaluate the game, and Bowles and Light are not doing this. Money back doesn't work in the NFL. Umad Push Square, Khalil Mack is signed to the Chargers, $18 million. To real Buccaneer fans out there, the 49ers had way more injuries on defense and offense. And their head coach had a winning season, way harder division, made it into the playoffs with backups, but apparently our great Todd Bowles, with really only having one major injury on defense, all could have gotten a winning season, and that's what Mike seen. That's why he left. Who is hitting me up here? Oh, what's going on? Hold on a sec. All right. All right, Alex, one more call. Go ahead.
Hey, everyone. I just wanted to just share something awesome on the way out.
Go for it.
So I wanted to leave the show on a good note about Mike Evans.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to share some good stuff. All right. No matter what happens in Mike's Hall of Fame legend career, I just want to say as a fan how much I appreciated him in the Tampa Bay community.
Sure.
He has done so many great things on and off the field. And to be honest with you, it's going to be hard to match that for generations to come. So, and you know, Peter, I think that's where most of the fans are upset. I don't really think I'm glad that the fans understand why he left. Listen, I'm not going to go into ownership, Jason Light, Todd Bowles, or anything. Mike Evans went to where he felt in his heart that that he can continue his Hall of Fame career. And my goal, he headed to San Francisco to get them passing yards. And Mike Evans just wants to be the best. Mike Evans don't care about that money.
Right.
He doesn't care about that bank account because Mike Evans will always have money. But Mike Evans, in my opinion, he deserves this. I'm glad he went to somewhere that he could succeed. He's going to be playing along with some great talent, you know. But I think what's making Bucs fans the most upset in their heart is this: the last time we saw Mike Evans at Ray J was him walking in the tunnel, yelling, throwing his helmet, and yelling, "Turn 28." And I think that kills Bucs fans. And I think that's why I think when it comes to Mike Evans, I think that's what we're the most upset about, is because I wanted to see Mike Evans retire as a Buc. I thought that was the commitment that, you know, the Glazers were going to help us commit with Mike Evans, and Mike Evans wanted that. And I guess maybe that's what makes, you know, all the fans upset the most. But listen, man, you know, I love Mike. I'll always love Mike. I don't know if he's going to be – I don't think Brock is going to give up that number 13, but whatever number Mike Evans will rep in San Francisco, I'm going to grab his jersey. But, man, I'm going to miss Mike. I love Mike. I appreciate everything he's done for our community. He has touched the lives of so many children and families. The Mike Evans Family Foundation has had the opportunity to touch hundreds of thousands of lives. And I know he'll always have his heart in Tampa Bay, but, man, I would have loved to see him retire as a Buc. But, listen, good show.
Thank
good
you.
stuff as always.
Thank you.
By the way, Peter.
Yes.
I love the passion tonight.
I love the passion. You need to have a bad Wednesday at work every Wednesday.
Everybody said that. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you as always, my
Hey,
friend. All right.
good stuff, my friend. And
Thank you.
maybe next time when the off season cools down, let's talk some Rays baseball. We got baseball coming back next week.
I know.
What a
We're
week.
going to definitely talk more Rays baseball. I appreciate you, brother, as always. All
All
right.
right, brother. You have a great night.
All
And
right.
good stuff as always.
Thank you, brother. See you later. There we go. Good stuff there from Alex. Love that. Can't say the Bucs are better than last year. You can't definitely say that. Baker and Chris is gone next year. Damn it, I missed the beginning of the show. I didn't get a chance to hear you go off. Go ahead and listen to that. It's all out there. Again, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. YouTube Super Chats. If you like the rant tonight, go ahead and give to the rant tonight. And then, of course, from me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. I think Khalil Mack re-signed with the Chargers. That he did. Gary C. Biker Travis. I think that's stars. Baker is good, but not great. He'll never take us to a bowl. I hope we don't blow a bunch of money on him in a long term. They will have to determine that, but that's certainly a good point. Can he take you to the bowl? Can he win a Super Bowl? We'll see. As long as Bowles is the coach, we will never win a Super Bowl. David says, tell me I don't understand how people can put 2 and 2 together. Our best player, Mike Evans, said he would rather uproot his family, ship them across the country, take a pay cut, than play in another year under that coach. King Cook. Peter, don't edit out the rant for the report video. I'm going to need something to laugh at tomorrow when I rewatch. Fair enough. Since NFL fever, my brother, absolutely. I know this all too well. Appreciate you. Get ready because it's coming. Laugh out loud. Baker is 15 to 20 quarterback. Rolando, thank you very much for the comment. Realberg native, great show tonight. Go Bucs, go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
We got the job, baby.
Go Bucs.
He's excited.
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Go Bucs. Good stuff there. Thank you very much. Let's go out to Brandon. You think Texans D-line coaches can fix Logan Hall? Definitely. With him playing where he's playing right now. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You on the Evolution?
Hey, Peter, Jeremy, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, Jeremy? How you doing? My last call tonight, my friend.
I had to make it count. So the time was you're still going, man. So I appreciate you keeping it going.
Sure.
But nah, it's been rough, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
1 to 10 right now. How frustrated are you that the Bucs haven't been more aggressive when it comes to signing an edge rusher at this point? With the report today, they were in it with Trey Hendrickson, but wanted a short-term deal. Max Crosby is out there. Maybe there's a chance they make a trade, but all the edge rushers that you could have gotten to improve this team, the Bucs have done nothing at this point. What's your frustration level from 1 to 10?
I mean, it's at a 7.
Okay.
But I will say this, Peter. After what happened with the Mike Evans situation, if you think about it, this man walked and left because he didn't believe in this team. What do you think these other superstars are thinking right now? Mike Evans has been there, the cornerstone of this franchise the last 12 plus years.
Yeah.
And do you really think they want to come into a team where Mike Evans doesn't believe in them? That's something I think about, Like, yes, they were in on Trey Henderson, but let's be realistic. Do you really think he really wanted to come here, even though it was reported he did want to come here? I just find it hard to believe that any, elite pass rusher will really want to come here. Maybe Jason Lee has talked to Spytek. Maybe he has an opportunity to talk to him as Crosby, but maybe Crosby told him he didn't want to come here. We'll never know the truth behind closed doors.
Of course not, until it plays out. And there's certainly a possibility where that trade could get done. And, this is all moot at this point. And we were impatient, talking about it. But I just thought they would have more urgency at this point. And there's been no urgency to improve that position, which has been the Achilles heel, which is the biggest priority, in my opinion, coming into it. So I'm surprised.
No, I mean, it is. It's very hard. It's been a rough couple of days, really. The first day we started making moves, and then we made, some minor moves today, which I let the Alshon Robinson pick up. I think because it could be a good, piece of the defense.
Sure.
But I will say, I mean, it's going to be hard to really get these fans aboard of whoever we choose as the edge rusher. And obviously, it's not going to be an elite guy unless by some miracle, we pull Crosby off. At this point, the only one really out there is Joey Bosa. He's the only one besides these other smaller names. And I mean, no disrespect, no knock on the other free agents, but I'm just saying, I mean, I think Light's looking for a Shaq Barrett type, like 2019, like a random, free agent to do what Shaq Barrett did. But to me, you got to pull the trigger if you're going to get these fans behind you right now, because the fans are tired of waiting. They we need an alpha pass rusher to help our defense. And if you can't do that, then, drafting an edge rush in the first round is not going to solve your problems, because all the good ones are going to be gone by the time our pick is up. So, Cassius Howell is a good prospect, but he's not going to be an alpha right away. You got to get somebody in there that's got the experience. Yeah. It's got double-digit stats. That's just the way it is. So the real question is, is Jason Light, is this from ownership is telling Light not to do this, or is it Light just not putting a lot of effort into it, which I find it hard to believe?
Yeah, I think this is more of an ownership thing, which again, we don't know what the budget is, and we'll see at this point, what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, and if they can, make some moves when it comes to edge rusher. But you're just going into this and thinking you're going to draft somebody and they're going to come in and be a double-digit sacker. You're going to get, James Pierce Jr. from last year, because again, 6 rookies, 6 in the last decade have been double-digit sackers as a rookie. That's it, 6 out of 10 years. So it doesn't happen that much. It doesn't. So
no, it doesn't. You nailed it around the head. To me, right now, I think at this point they're more focused on what Levante David wants to do. If I'm Levante David, I want to come back to this, not having an alpha pass rusher, and pretty much Anzalone, we brought him in, who I think was another great pickup.
Right.
But at the same time, he's pretty much kind of the replacement, if you ask me. And they'll go draft a couple linebackers, because there is some good talent in the draft.
Definitely a lot of good talent in the draft, Jeremy. I'm going to wrap it up right there, my friend. Yeah. I appreciate you as always. We'll see you next time here on The Evolution. Tune in this weekend. We should have Booger McFarland and Rondé Barber and Keenan McCardell and Ken Dilger. We got some guests for you here on the Sports Web, hopefully this weekend, all right?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'll definitely tune in. Thanks, Peter. You have a good night, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Come out there, too, if you can. The Florida State Fairgrounds. I'm going to try to get in front of some fans there, talk to some fans, kind of kiss some babies, be like a politician, but not a politician. Like when I say I'm going to do something, actually do it. I'm not trying to get political, just saying that's how I'm going to be. We don't talk politics on this show, but I don't even know why I said that, but definitely get in front of fans. The Florida State Fairgrounds here. So let's see. I don't think Hendrickson said that. I'm trying to find the recording where Mike told the radio station in San Francisco the reason why he left his Buccaneers and him are going in different directions. Fair enough. When you see how our defensive edge rushers are used, what edge rusher who wants to lead league in sacks is going to want to come and play here when they fall into coverage more than half of the game? Scott says, is anyone really shocked that we aren't getting any big names? That's a good point. Did I read some of these comments here? As long as Bowles is the head coach, we will never win a Super Bowl. Read that one. We'll continue to go back up and down here. Let's see. Damn it, Jim, right there.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
Brent, they're not going to get Max Crosby. And Brent, again, they need to draft pass rushers in the first round. I definitely think they'll do that. So we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot to Harry the Greek, who was on with us. Thanks a lot to all the callers, all the comments. Remember, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats are open. If you like the content, give to the content. And of course, like and subscribe to Bucs Latest every day, a daily Bucs show at 11 a.m., a part of the Fan Arch Network. It's Bucs Latest right there. So, guys, we'll wrap it up. We'll keep it down. Let's see. I like the DT from Clemson, number 11. I think his name is Shaw. I don't think his name is Shaw. I think I know who you're talking about. Maybe we'll do a preview of him next time here on, again, the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. We'll keep it down for the roommates. Again, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the evolution of sports talk television. Now, as we always say on this show, to end it off, go Bucs.